Network on all social media platforms. PSP Network, it's game day.
Dakota Community Bank and Trust, your trusted partner for commercial and business loans. We not only provide lending you need to grow your business, but we also reinvest in our communities. We believe in strengthening our businesses and creating opportunities for success. Choose Dakota Community Bank and Trust for your commercial and business loans, and together let's keep our communities thriving.
Serving the community, looking out for you. At Dakota Community Bank and Trust, that's what we do.
When facing disaster, it's not just the things we lose, but the memories. But there's hope. ServPro, with decades of experience in Minot and Bismarck, is always ready. Our certified professionals don't just restore homes, they rebuild lives. Because to us, you're not just a client, you're family.
Since 2003, the architects and engineers at Ackerman Esvold have been enhancing everyday life. From response times to commute times, we've helped create critical infrastructure, enhancing highway safety, flood protection, and public education. And we're no stranger to enhancing fun, family outings, and even game time. Ackerman Esvold, working to enhance your everyday life.
Great news! If you're looking for a new vehicle, Ryan Family Dealerships has the best selection we've had in years. You'll find fantastic offers from Nissan, Honda, Chevrolet, Buick, GMC, Cadillac, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram.
Hold on! Ryan sells Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram?
Yes, we do, and we'd love to sell one to you. Visit one of our 5 convenient locations in Minot and Williston. Get your next vehicle from a name you know and trust. Ryan Family Dealerships.
That sinking feeling you get when this happens? That's oil change anxiety. The anxiety of being without a car with a billion things to do. The fear of being overcharged. The stress of not knowing where to go or who to trust. But you never get those feelings at Valvoline Instant Oil Change, where you can watch us work right from your car, and we finish up in about 15 minutes.
We changed your oil and did our 18-point safety check.
Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Service you can see, experts you can trust.
Welcome in for game number 2 from the VFW tonight. As just earlier, Minot United defeated Bismarck Legacy 4-2, but now we got Bismarck High versus Bismarck Century. A big-time rivalry, and two teams that in the history of WDA have kind of controlled of where that region title was going. You could say Minot was in that mix as well, but between these two teams, 21 WDA titles. But they're trying to get back into the mix, these two teams. For Bismarck, they are a team that since, kind of Legacy formed to their own, they have saw a little bit of that slip and missing the state the last 4 seasons. For Century, they have made it to state the last 3. And also for Century, they made state the last 18 of the last 19 seasons. So Century, again, has been one of those powerhouses here in the West region. Bismarck High used to be one of the powerhouses they're trying to regain and get back into that similar throne.
Yeah, I mean, it's a fun rivalry to be a part of, just to be around. Bismarck and kind of get to be part of that a little bit. It's fun to see these teams compete. BHS has been down a little bit the last couple of years, but I know they're certainly looking to turn things around, and I think they'll have a stronger season this year. And Century, what a great run from Troy Olson to get to the state tournament that many times, as while he's been the coach, but that coaching staff's done a real nice job trying to push the right buttons for their groups, and they always find a way to be a top team by the end of the year.
Speaking on, we'll talk with Century first. They're 0-1 to start the season after falling to Mandan last week in Mandan, 3-0. And in that game, it was just Mandan's offense was just too high-powered for Century. Century tried to kind of slow them up, trying to play a little more of a physical game, but Mandan was just too fired up there and just would not be denied their speed into the advantage of Mandan 3-0. But again, we talked about it in that last game about goaltending. Noah Hammer kept them in that game. It could have been way more than 3-0. So keep an eye on Noah Hammer in net tonight for the Patriots.
Yeah, no, I think every year, anytime you have a young goalie, you're kind of wondering, okay, how's he going to do at the varsity level? And honestly, that just takes a little experience. You're not going to know until you get put in the fire. And hopefully he can be a guy that can be put to the test and help his team compete and be in games this year.
Yeah, last year it was in about 4 games last year. I believe they even threw him in the state Consi game at state against Botno Rugby in that one where he did come away with the win. So has some postseason experience as well. But again, getting more and more reps is key. And for him, I mean, that's thrown right into the fire. A Mandan team that puts up 40-something shots on you. And for him to, again, save 93% of those shots was huge for him, and especially coming into this game today, confidence level-wise, against the Demons.
Well, for sure. And going to a Mandan to me is the best rink to play in the West region. I think it's got a great atmosphere. Mandan fans really get into it, so it's a really fun atmosphere, but also it can be tough on the players' side. Going to, I would just say, kind of a hostile crowd, but that's what makes sports and hockey great. Is you got passion pouring into the game. So I love to see that. And he had a great performance over there, and hopefully he can keep building on that.
Bismarck High last year was limited just to 4 wins last year. But again, this is a team that their goalie kept them in a lot of games last year. And Owen Dieter, we'll talk a little bit about him, and an all-WDA goaltender returns at the helm. Exactly what head coach Steve Dora wants to see.
Well, for sure. Any good team has a good goaltender. Owen Dieter helped that BHS team stay in some games last year. To me, he's going to be a bright spot for that group this year that's kind of really looking to kind of regain the power that they've had for such a long time under Coach Mike Peluso. So I really think, I think Steve Dora is going to do a good job with that group, really try and turn the tide, try to create that culture and atmosphere within the room. And I think they're going to have a much stronger season this year than they have in the last couple of years. They got some good young players that are coming up, and some veteran players that have a little more experience.
The Demons have 1 game underneath their belt. They took on Bismarck Legacy, the team we just saw moments ago, fall to Minot. But in that matchup, Bismarck High found themselves down 7-1. But one thing you like to see out of that Bismarck High team is no quit, scoring the last 3 goals unanswered. They fell 7-4, but you like how they ended it, and Dora and his coaching staff hoping that they can carry that over in tonight's game.
For sure. And anytime you're down, that lopsided of a score before the game's over, you get concerned about your guys kind of giving up. But no quit. I know they got, I think there was a 5-minute major, and then they were able to kind of climb back in the game. But yeah, you want to see that fight. You don't want to see your guys quit until that final buzzer goes. And that, to me, that goes with, like, hey, we want to play with a certain amount of pride, play with a certain amount of effort. And they certainly got that right to the final buzzer.
Yeah, and this is a team last year for Bismarck High that at points kind of struggled with consistency on the offensive side. So for them to, in the season opener, put up 4 goals against a goalie that we saw is very capable of holding his own in the WDA, and Brody Crumwoody is very impressive. And again, that never say die attitude for the Demons going to go a long way this year.
Well, and they're going to need that. To me, if you have a team maybe not as skilled, and you go into what Coach Willard's saying about his group, hey, we got to play a certain style. To me, BHS, they have to play tough, fast, hard-hitting, kind of tight defensively style to try and stay in games. Maybe you don't have the talent, as much talent maybe as other teams potentially. So how are you, which is fine, but how are you what kind of style can you play what kind of brand of hockey are you going to play to allow yourself to stay in games and compete. And to me, not always the most talented team doesn't always win at the end of the year. The team that plays the right way for what the talent that they do have on their group, a lot of times is the winner.
That's the first part of our Valvoline Instant Oil Change pre-game show. Bismarck High versus the Century Patriots, getting closer and closer to puck drop. When we come back, we're going to be talking about key players for these two teams.
We started with small beginnings. And just like the visionary entrepreneurs we serve, we turned an idea into reality. Today, we give you the power to grow your ideas by building meaningful relationships in the communities we serve. Because it's the same place we started. BNC National Bank, where possibilities begin right here at home.
Being in business for over 25 years, we've learned a lot about why local matters, unlike those guys. We take pride in our work and back our tires with our Plus Plan guarantee to get the most out of your tire's lifespan.
Are the tires the same size on all the sides?
We strive to provide great value to our guests and lowest prices guaranteed.
That's not good.
Stop at a trusted tire and auto and get a set of tires from people you know and trust, and will even match those guys.
That sinking feeling you get when this happens? That's oil change anxiety. The anxiety of being without a car with a billion things to do. The fear of being overcharged. The stress of not knowing where to go or who to trust. But you never get those feelings at Valvoline Instant Oil Change, where you can watch us work right from your car, and we finish up in about 15 minutes.
We changed your oil and did our 18-point safety check.
Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Service you can see, experts you can trust.
At Badlands Pet Crematory, we understand that pets are family. Unlike other crematories in the area, we are the only dedicated pet crematory that offers private individual cremation. One pet at a time, 100% guaranteed. From start to finish, we personally handle your pet with the utmost care, ensuring that you receive only your pet in return. Choose Badlands Pet Crematory, because saying goodbye should come with certainty and trust.
Welcome back in the Valvoline Instant Oil Change pre-game show. I'm Brock Widener, joined alongside me, Mario Lamoureux, as we get ready for our second game tonight. Bismarck High taking on Bismarck Century, battle for the capital city. Both these two teams started out 0-1. We talked a little bit about how they've done in the past, but now we're going to talk about their makeup and talk about some key players. And let's start it off with the Bismarck High Demons. And you can't talk about the Demons offense without Easton Richardson, the junior. He had a 3-point performance to start the year against Legacy, 2 goals and assists. And last year was their leading returner from last season, 12 points, 7 goals. And having one of those players that had a solid sophomore year come back his junior campaign, definitely going to be crucial to be at the helm of this Bismarck High squad.
Yeah, for sure. And I think for Easton, you know, can be a dynamic offensive player. He's good at attacking one-on-one. You know, can you pull other guys in the fight to kind of try to play at your level? So I think for him, trying to continue, obviously they really need him to produce offensively, but can you get other guys to kind of get on your level throughout the season? Because it's not a one-man game out there, and if he can do that, I think he'll have a lot of success.
Kaysen Schwark, he was a sophomore, did not play against Legacy. Not sure if he's available tonight, but had a good year there as a freshman last year, 5 points. He had 3 power play goals. That was the top among returners for Bismarck High. Tanner Freeze, another experienced player, had 4 points last year, even had a goal just last week against Legacy. And then Ellis Johnson, he's one of those seniors again, 20 games played last year, 3 points for Johnson. And Feist, a sophomore that played in plenty of games last year as well.
Yeah, you know, Ian Feist, to me, known him for a long time, really a great kid, a great leader. He's named one of the assistant captains this year for the group as a sophomore, which to me is a great honor and just shows, you know, his leadership capabilities. So look for him to be a guy that kind of gets guys. You talk about getting that culture, getting that atmosphere in your room. He's definitely a guy that's going to try and kind of get guys going on the right path, playing the right way, showing the kind of effort that they want to see as a group.
Justin Steen and Kyle Loris also netted goals. I believe those were each of their first varsity goals there to start the season against Legacy. But for the Demons, though, they bring back one of their two goaltenders, and it's their starter who won all WDA honors last year in Owen Dieter. Last year, 4 wins, 14 losses, 3.36 goals against average, a 91% save percentage, and 3 shutouts for Dieter last year. Had a little bit of a tough start of the season against that Legacy team that put up 7 goals, but he's one of those kids that he's going to bounce back, and he had quite the resume as just a sophomore last year.
Yeah, I mean, I'd expect him to have a really strong game tonight, and, you know, you have your first game of the season, and I think it's all like we've said in the previous game. It's about responding to when something negative happens. How are you going to respond to a bad game or a bad play, or maybe you let in a weak goal? You got to respond, and then I certainly expect him to come in here and have a strong game.
I enjoyed watching him a lot last season. You take a look at him as well as the other all-region goaltenders there for Williston, and then Mason Linus for Botno Rugby. Those 3 kids did a great, and you can even throw in Bryce Cattermas for Dickinson. Those 4 kids, I know those 4 teams were towards the bottom half of the standings, but those goaltenders kept them in games throughout the year.
Well, and you know what? Every team has their strengths, and certainly some teams will have good forwards, some teams will have good D. Those teams certainly had good goaltenders, and you know, sometimes you're really good because you got a really good goalie. So I think for BHS, they're really hoping that Dieter can kind of be a catalyst for them, help them stay in some games. You know, if they're not going to be a high-scoring game or team, they certainly need him to make a whole bunch of saves.
Now we're going to talk about the players to watch for the Century Patriots and their strength. Well, they bring back Keaton Schulte at the helm, one of the 5 players in WDA that return after averaging a point per game last year. Keaton Schulte, again, the top returning point getter for the Patriots, 32 points, 14 of which were goals, and he had 5 game winners last year. He was 15th in points in all of WDA, and for him tonight, he was missing one of his line mates to start the season, and Heath Frickman. He gets Heath Frickman back, as well as Kaysen Hagerup, and you got to look out for that first line tonight.
Oh, they're going to be dangerous. Like, Schulte's such a smart player, makes so many good plays at both ends of the ice, good, real responsible player. So I think for him to try and take that step where, hey, I had a good season last year, now I'm going to have a dominant season this year for him. And I think Frickman in the same boat. A lot of offensive talent. Can he stay consistent throughout the year and have that kind of play with that kind of edge that he needs to be a dominant player as well?
Now we're going to talk about maybe our X factors for Century this year. Reese Frickman and Jack Backus. Backus will not be in tonight's lineup, but he is one of those 2 freshman blue liners that played a lot on the season opener against Mandan. Reese Frickman, he is going to be in that second unit there, that second line of defenders here tonight. So keep an eye on number 8 for Century. I like the physicality played with against Mandan, especially your first varsity game. Sometimes you don't know how it's going to be, but for him just to, hey, we're just going to send it, see what happens. And he made sure to try to slow down a very exciting Mandan attack.
Yeah, and both those guys, good, strong players, good young players that I think will have a good impact on this team this year. Those are good, hardworking, athletic kids, good at lots of sports. Both come from athletic background families, and I'm excited to see those kids play. I think they're going to turn into excellent players.
I also want to give a little mention out to Emerson Astle. He was one of those players with Heath Frickman out of the lineup against Mandan, jumped from being a 3rd liner to a 1st liner. He's back in at that 3rd line center role tonight, but he's, again, one of those big bodies in that Century lineup. 6'3", 185. You can't teach size, and he certainly has it.
Well, to me, kind of what do you have as a player? Is it size? Is it speed? Do you have good hands around the net? You know, what are you good at? You know, if you're going to be a big guy, be physical. You know, be good in front of the net. Try and utilize what you are as a player, you know, both physically and your skill set, and be the most efficient player that you can be.
Yeah, so we'll keep an eye on him. Again, that power forward, grinder type forward there. He'll be in that 3rd line with Kyle Livesay and Wyatt Mansmith, who I thought both of them also had some solid shifts against Mandan to start the season last week. Well, again, we talked about Bismarck High. They're in their lone game. It fell 4-7 against Bismarck Legacy and for Century, they were shut out in their opener against Mandan last week, 3-0 against the Braves. So for offense again for Century, I think it's going to be one of those things where they didn't have a single shot on goal in the first period against Mandan last week. For them, you want to start getting those shots as early as possible. Look for them to try to flood the net early.
Well, I think he's trying to establish yourself offensively and try and be physical. But for them, obviously, you got to try to produce some offense. Getting Frickman back in the lineup is going to be big for them. They lost a lot of firepower from last year. I mean, you lost Hayden Eckert early to the North American Hockey League, and he's doing great there. And you lose, Jackson Filling was a guy they didn't get back. And you graduated some real strong seniors, so they lost a lot of firepower, just like a Minot group. So who can step up and be a catalyst? They got some good young players, and like a Jacob Fisher, or Oliver Sparks. Those guys, I think they're going to expect to come in and provide some offense, but it might take them a little bit of time to kind of get comfortable at the varsity level.
Well, these are one of these teams, I know it's kind of cliche, but Century doesn't reload, they rebuild. I mean, 18 of their last 19 years, they've went to state, and that just shows there's no rebuilding here for Century. They have high expectations, and this is a team that it starts from the bottom. It starts from kind of the youth, and they just build up these players into just being key contributors right away at the varsity level. I think we're going to see a lot of those names shine throughout the year that maybe didn't play much varsity last year.
Yep, and every year they have some guys that have come up from Bantam that end up being really good players for them at the start of the year. Jackson Filling was one of the Century's best players last year. He started off playing JV at the start of the year. So Troy Olson's obviously pushed the right buttons to get his guys comfortable at the high school level. I think you can expect guys, like a Reese Frickman, Jacob Fisher, Oliver Sparks, Nick Koster. I think you can expect those guys to start contributing by the end of the year. Experience always helps. A lot of those kids are nervous, their first game, especially going over to Mandan in a hostile environment. But I think you can expect some of those guys to step up and play well. It'll be fun to watch throughout the year.
Well, Mario, I think we're going to have a kind of a packed house here, as it looks like some Minot and some Legacy fans going to stay a little bit here for the start of this one, as we are going to take a break for tonight's national anthem. You can stick with us right here on the Valvoline Instant Oil Change pregame show.
Tonight performed by the Century Patriots Band.
That was tonight's national anthem, and we get ready for puck drop when we return here on the PSP Network. Bismarck High taking on Bismarck Century.
Planning for the future is difficult, but pre-planning your funeral is a thoughtful way to ease the burden on your loved ones. At Stevenson Funeral Home, our compassionate team will help you create a personalized plan that reflects your values. We'll make sure that your wishes are honored and that your family will have peace of mind in a challenging time. Call us today to start your pre-planning journey. You can count on us to be with you every step of the way. Stevenson Funeral Home.
Welcome back in. We are ready for puck drop. Bismarck High taking on Bismarck Century, our second of two WDA clashes here tonight on the PSP Network. Mario, what are you expecting here in the first couple of minutes with these two squads?
I think both teams are going to try to come out and just establish themselves physically. So try and get pucks behind the other team's D and just try and establish offensive zone pressure, but just get your feet going and try and get into that game early by being physical.
As quickly played in by Johnson. And there you say it right on cue, the physicality. And it's issued by the Patriots. Racing down is Frickman. Schulte now backhands it over to Frickman. Finding it to Hagerup. Century trying to come out of the gate swinging after being held to no shots in the first period against Mandan last week. Freeze, extension pass, that one taken away by Ty Backus, but right back to Kaysen Schwark again. He missed the opener against Legacy. He's back in the lineup. So both teams return a key player that missed their opener. Schwark for Bismarck High, as well as Heath Frickman on the end for Bismarck Century. Battle among the boards. Nick Coaster trying to seal the edge. Dumped in, good work, helping it out. So Dieter doesn't have to panic on that one, sent down the ice, hand in the air, and that one is coming back for an icing.
I think a good start here from Century. You know, Ty Backus lays the body early. Fun fact, his dad was inducted into the Red River High School Hall of Fame earlier this fall, so congrats to him. Real athletic family, and Ty's committed to go play college lacrosse down in Florida, so his dad, Mike, will have to dust off the Speedo because he'll be doing a little bit of time on the beach.
I know we talked about it pregame. I was like, how do you get into lacrosse here in North Dakota? There's no high school league or anything like that, but all power to you.
Yep, no, it's a growing sport here. A lot of kids that have taken it up really enjoy the sport. But yeah, growing in this area, which is cool to see and awesome to see someone like Ty get an opportunity to go pursue that at the college level.
Especially in Florida, enjoy some warm weather.
I'm a little bit jealous, I have to be honest. I'll dust my Speedo off if Mike will invite me.
Go check out again. Trying to work it to Emerson Astle. There is Century, but good work sealing it in and putting it back in the zone is Bryce Hardy. Hardy applies the pressure. Now he'll go for a line change as Astle absorbs a hit. A little pushing and shoving, but it looks like we got a whistle here. Not exactly sure.
Oh, looks like one of the stanchions on the glass came down.
Oh, good eye there.
Yeah.
So we'll make sure that goes back up as lineman Jessup Pelkey scoops up the puck, and they'll work on that and take a little bit of a timeout break, but it looks like they're going to get the thumbs up. Not sure if they're going to go right back in the action or not. It looks like we got the whole ice crew coming out here for a second. They got thumbs up approval. Looks like we'll be ready to go back in the action. You played in plenty of games, Mario. Have you ever seen that happen?
I've seen some crazy stuff happen. I feel like that's happened. I've done the broken glass.
Did you break the glass?
No, I've seen pucks break the glass. I've seen bodies go through the glass. I was close enough where some of the glass shards went down my shirt, so that wasn't overly comfortable, but we survived.
Doesn't sound fun, but hey, at least you got the stories to tell after.
That's right.
Chip back in by Schnell. Taken away by the other 22, Ty Backus. Here's an extension pass. Pushes it up to Hagerup. Hagerup bodied into the boards by Johnson. Sticks with it, fires a shot. Dieter gets a piece of it. Dieter trying to fight through the traffic. Backus rotates it down low to Schulte. Just going to backhand one, and that's going to catch a body up in front and tamed down by Kaysen Schwark. Schwark plays it around the boards to Easton Richardson as the alternate captain goes down from a hit from a Patriot. Played off the boards, and Bo Miller goes to chase after it. Miller going to hit the brakes. Schwark, though, on the forecheck, force him to quickly get rid of it. Off a deflection right onto the stick of Schulte. Schulte gets some help from Coster. More help on the way for Century. Trying to dig at it now is Heath Frickman. Schulte around the cage. Continues to dance with it. Avoids a check, chips it in right onto the tape there. Some nice passing. Sets it up to Oliver Sparks, one of those younger Patriots. Sparks into a cutting Patriot, goes to the backhand. And that one just high away and goes in to the bench for Bismarck High.
Really good puck movement from Century. Keaton Schulte, puck, good job puck protecting the offensive zone, kind of waiting for something to open up. What I would like to see them do is like, hey, we got that puck movement. At some point, you got to be in attack mode and start putting those pucks towards the net. But overall, good puck possession in the offensive zone, and hopefully they can build on that as this game goes along.
Give the face-off win to Bismarck High as Johnson keeping his eyes up, seeing if he can find a fellow Demon down the ice. As now he'll lay the body on there, slowing down Matt Mansmith, a part of that third line for the Patriots. Astle chips it around, a slow-moving puck around the boards. Pot out of the air by Easton Carvo, and he'll send it back down. Astle again quickly getting to the puck, but it's calmed down by Bryce Hardy. Hardy, just a freshman, playing his second varsity game in his varsity career, as he'll get the puck again. Dumps it back. Almost had a break with him and Justin Steen, but the Patriots blow out the fire with Easton Carvo in the blue line.
Yep, and he's a great guy to come up and try to contribute at the varsity level. Really a great kid, great family. I think he'll do great, have a great career here at BHS.
Schulte blows a tire. Demons have an opportunity. Firing a quick turn and shoot. Look, there is Richardson. I think that one hits the post and deflects into the corner. Patriots got numbers if they can try to win the race, but calming that puck down is Jet Warren. He'll go with the stretch pass to Richardson. Richardson plays it to Freeze, or at least in his direction, as Bo Miller will steal that one away, hit the brakes, trying to shake and bake around Freeze. Leaves it around the boards. Schulte. He's got Hagerett with him. Schulte gonna go with the shot. That one whistles wide. Schulte then pokes that one near the direction of Hagerett, who has a lot of black jerseys around him. Backus fires a shot. That one blocked up front. Jet Warren getting out of the way, and now he'll just pass one into the boards and go back to play defense. Warren going to win another race to the puck. Absorbs a check from Nick Koster as Bismarck High trying to get it away from their own crease. Pressured all around as it's Jacob Fisher having that one squirt loose. Here comes Reese Frickman. Frickman lays it back around underneath to Nick Koster. Puck loose up front, trying to race forward towards it was Oliver Sparks. Goes down the ice for another icing.
Really great forechecking from Jacob Fisher. He's just fast. He doesn't slow down until he gets to that battle, creates a turnover, and then kind of leads to some offensive looks there. So great forechecking by him, and he's one of those names that we said, hey, he's a young guy that could be a big contributor this year. But you always say you got to maybe try and give a young player, got to give them a few games. Maybe it's 5, maybe it's 10 to really get their feet settled in. And I think that could be the case for some of those younger players.
Justin Steen works it up to Bryce Hardy. Back to Ian Feist. Feist drilled into the boards. Feist just getting a piece of it. That one kicked in the corner by Hammer. Hitting the brakes on it now is Jacob Fisher. Losing the handle on it and played back in deep by Justin Steen. Steen, one of those many sophomores, a part of this Bismarck High team. Again, they return a good chunk of players that did get varsity experience, however, last year, all a very young team a year ago. Johnson, his shot steers wide. It picked up well again, but it's Astle. Chips it off the boards to himself. He's going to develop almost developing a 2-on-1. He had Mansmith with him, but that puck just gets away from him.
Smart play from Astle there at the blue line, just chipping those pucks out, skate into them. For him, it's about playing a simple game, north-south, and how do you get that puck to the offensive zone quickly? So really smart, intelligent play from him.
It's one way to set up some offense there. Just, again, play it off the boards to yourself, and almost had a great breakaway opportunity there for Century. Wait for Kaysen Hagerett to get down. He'll win the faceoff. Quick turn and shoot there for Bo Miller. It's directed away from the net. Miller Tries to jam it up again with another shot. This one blocked. Here comes some speed from Tanner Freeze. Puck pot out of the air by Kaysen Schwartz. Does not go up and over the glass. Just hits the very top of it and stays in play. Freeze gets drilled there on the pick. And here comes Century showing their speed. It's Heath Frickman, that one high.
When Heath Frickman winds it up coming out of the zone, he is so hard to stop. He's long, he's rangy, he's got able to keep that puck away from defenders, but he is really dangerous when he can wind it up.
Frickman directs another one, and that one blocker to side, showing there a little bit of the punch there for Dieter, trying to get it out. Hager it with a nice little check, but that puck going to go down. The refs are going to say it was deflected, so that's going to negate the icing. And Bismarck High going to quickly go for a line change. Century trying to catch him sleeping, but Schulte can't hold on to it. And looks like he'll just buy some time to get his fellow Patriots off the ice. Carvo backpedaling. He fans on it, but kind of works, kind of buys him a little pump fake. Tries to play it up to Koster and poked back by Bismarck High. Johnson on his knees, fires that one. Racing towards it. Kyle Loris. Loris tries to keep that one on his skate blade. Here comes Century again. There's a Bismarck High team, and they're playing with only 4 players on the ice. The coaching staff had to kind of just push them out there to negate the breakaway opportunity. Don't see that too often there, Mario.
No, sometimes you're just not sure who's going.
Luckily for them, it wasn't too many men on the ice.
Yep.
And you killed the breakaway. Nick Koster now will deflect that one. He'll go in for a line change. Team's now trying to go for some quick line changes here lately as Emerson Astle chips it out to Livesay. Kicked away once again by Owen Dieter, the all-WDA region goaltender from a year ago in his sophomore season. His third line keeping it, trying to flip the ice here for Century. Off and running with the other direction, it's Cooper Christensen. He'll chip it around. Picked up by Bryce Hardy. Into between the skates there, Justin Steen. Pull it out of it as Kyle Livesay, but he goes right back into the traffic before the puck will squirt out into the other corner. Johnson dumps it back in, allows the forwards for Bismarck High to get some fresh legs in there. Johnson going to go with another shot. That one easily paddled aside by Hammer. Johnson just firing some low shots and just anything up front, trying to provide some offense here for Bismarck High. Little break check on the end for Johnson. He's been everywhere as the captain for Bismarck High. Backpedaling around with it now is Ian Thompson. Puck played around to Schulte. Schulte, he's got Hagerett with him. Schulte with a nice move. Feeds one to Hagerett. That one deflects it wide. Another opportunity. Schulte crashes the crease, but Dieter jumps on top of it.
Schulte's just doing so many positive things out there. A lot of times you'll see players come through the neutral zone. They'll try and drive pucks all the way down low and try and take pucks to the net, but he's smart enough where he can kind of adjust his speed. Once he gets into that offensive zone, he's working a little bit more east-west, okay, trying to get some confusion with the defenders, and you can see there he creates an opportunity, but that's just smart, intelligent play. It's not always about being fast all the time. He's smart at adjusting his speed to kind of wait for things to open up, and that's what you saw there.
Another opportunity for Schulte. That one in his skates. 6:19 remaining. Again, apologize. Looks like our score bug is just not quite working at the moment, so we're working on that currently. But 6:10 remaining, and there's some pushing and shoving, the physicality, but looks like an offsides. Fans get into it right there when you bring the power.
You love to see the passion from the fans there. It makes it exciting. Great atmosphere in here for this game. But this is where you got to control your emotions. When you got that energy in the building, you don't want to take a dumb penalty by running around, but certainly that element of physicality is important.
Shots right now are even 3-3. I mean, this game hasn't felt like there's only been 6 shots in the first 11 minutes, but I guess that's the case.
No, I mean, Sentries really look like they've had some good offensive looks, but really haven't gotten. I think they might be missing a couple shots, but.
Hammer catches that one, puts it back on the ice, will not hold on to it. Allows Bismarck High to keep it in the offensive zone. Ian Feist chips it around the ice. Laying the body there is Justin Steen. But Sentry will fight this puck out of the zone. Led by Oliver Sparks. That one a high shot for the sophomore. Nice little deflection for Nick Coaster. Almost gets a nice little deflection on net, but that one wide and down the ice it goes. His hustle effort trying to win the race was Brady Geinger. So 5:26 on the clock. 4-3 on the shots. As Miller fires one on a nice little slap shot, but that one blocked by the Demons. Winning the race to that puck there, Ty Backus. A collision right there at center ice as Emerson Astle now will chip one in, and he's going to try to win the race to it. He will. Plays it to himself again, absorbs one check. The 6'3", third liner.
Using that size to his advantage, and that's what you got to do. To me, this whole shift starts with Astle getting to that puck first, keeping the play alive in the offensive zone. Little thing, but he's being effective out there.
All the way down the opposite side, Ty Backus cutting off the Demons, trying to slow down that attack again. Sealing it right at center ice is Jet Warren. He'll quickly play it down, go for a line change. Schulte, he's showing his skill in this one. Schulte sends it to the side of the net. Poking a puck loose and now playing it forward. Well is Kaysen Schwark. Schwark going right to the net. Looking to see if he can get a pass there. He does, and he chips it in. Kaysen Schwark puts Bismarck High on the board first.
A great play from Easton Richardson there. Before the game, we talked about his ability to attack one-on-one. He's really good at attacking that triangle. Doesn't turn into a scoring chance for him, but he's able to get that puck past the defender, makes a play to the top of the crease, and Schwark's able to put it in.
Let's take a look at the replay brought to you by Ryan Family Dealerships. And there you go, Kaysen Schwark in his first game on the season puts one in. And he really was one of those players that brought that puck into the zone and did a good job of just filling that passing lane. He was there for a pass, he got it, and he ends up putting one home to put the Demons on the board first. And here they come again. Schwark, can he go 2 for 2? Yes, he can. Kaysen Schwark, top shelf. The Demons score back-to-back goals.
Another great play from Easton Richardson. They kind of catch a break coming through the neutral zone. But what a finish by Kaysen Schwark. Handles that puck and just snaps it upstairs right away. Really good release from him, but a nice play from Easton Richardson. Again, we talked about before the game about him being a player they were going to rely on offensively, and he's certainly having a nice start for this first period.
Let's take a look at the Ryan Family Dealerships instant replay of that one. Just goes right up top shelf. Not a bad, what was it, probably like 10, 15 seconds for Richardson and Schwark.
Yep.
I mean, Schwark now has 2 goals in about 15 seconds, and Richardson has 2 assists in that time frame.
Well, that was definitely something that they needed to happen in this game. Century was kind of controlling most of the play, but now they find themselves up 2-0 and in good shape, and it kind of found a little bit of life for them.
Tanner Freese also getting in on the secondary assist on that last goal. Traffic up front, Hammer trying to find it, and they will whistle that one with 3:17 remaining. Big shout out to Nick Holberg behind the scenes. We had some scoreboard issues, but looks like we got that all squared away. So big thanks out to him from behind the scenes getting that up to work as Bismarck High leads with 3:17 remaining in the opening frame. And Mario, this is a period that I know shots right now show Bismarck High up 7-5, But Century, I feel like, has had maybe more puck possession, but it has not led to it on the scoreboard.
Yeah, and I think kind of what we alluded to a little bit earlier is Century's had good movement, but they're kind of attack at the net. A lot of shot attempts that have gone wide or missed the net. So to me, they're kind of controlling the play a little bit, but it's not really turning into grade A scoring chances. A little bit too much perimeter. So I just think got to get a little greasier around that net. And when you are shooting perimeter shots, make sure you got traffic, make sure you got bodies there.
Turn and shoot for Oliver Sparks, and that's saved by Dieter. And maybe that was one of the better chances for Century. Sparks was given a gift, as you see on the Ryan Family Dealership instant replay. That puck goes right to him, but Dieter, right place, right time.
Yep, and Dieter's going to make those outside saves all day long. If you want to beat a good goalie like that, you got to take away his eyes, make it uncomfortable, get at his crease. You got to make it a little bit harder game for him. He's going to stop what he sees.
Icing will go down the ice with 2:33 remaining. Again, big thanks out to all of our sponsors that have made these broadcasts today possible. Big thanks out goes to Farstead Oil. Contact Farstead Oil today to find out how their skilled sales team can help you achieve your wholesale fuel, mobile lubricants, and DEF needs. Proudly serving North Dakota, Montana, Western Minnesota since 1938. Committed to outstanding customer service and reliability. Farstead Oil. 2.5 minutes remaining as here in period number one, Bismarck High up early, 2-0. As Hagerut got some help with him with Frickman and Schulte. That first line, they've been fun to watch, seeing if they can try to pull within one against the Demons. Reese Frickman plays it over to Heath. Down low, Hagerut scoops it back to Frickman at the blue line. Sends it across to Thompson. Thompson bodied in into the Demons bench, and Richardson going to flop that one out to Schwark, who's looking for the hat trick already. Rushed aside by Hammer. Wouldn't that be something, Mario, a first period hat trick?
That would feel good if you're the player, for sure. So, and like we talked about even before the game that, hey, they maybe don't have as much talent and you got to have guys step up. If you feel like maybe you're going to struggle offensively, but you expected it from a guy like Easton Richardson, who made a couple of real nice plays. But if you can get someone like Kason Schwark, who heats up, all of a sudden BHS turns into a dangerous team. Maybe you have like an Ian Feist or a Bryce Hardy or Justin Steen. Some of those guys start contributing a little bit more offensively. Now all of a sudden you're a dangerous team. So I wouldn't underwrite this BHS team.
Yeah, Kason Schwark had 3 goals last year, and his first game this season on the ice has already got 2 goals, so not a bad race to quickly get back. And he's probably going to already better what he got last year.
You would expect.
Taming that puck down now is Ty Backus as he enters the offensive zone with 1:15 remaining. He turns into a check there. Turns around. He is met by Justin Steen. It's been a pretty physical affair for both these two teams with a 1 minute remaining, 16 minutes down, 1 minute remaining left here in the first period. Miller fires that one from behind the crease. Johnson looking for a deflection, will get one. Lots of traffic up front. Steen trying to get there. Feist, a slow roller, poked away by Hammer. Miller backhands one over to Livesay. Tamed down again by Tanner Freeze, who's going to continue to ramp up the pressure. He's the only maroon jersey in a sea of white jerseys, fighting for the puck, and does a good job waiting until his teammates get there for some support.
Great battle level from Tanner Freeze there, just to keep that play alive in the offensive zone.
As they get that first line out there for one last shift, Richardson trying to catch Century in a line change. Richardson, dangle his centering attempt, not going to be, and that will be it for period number one, as the Bismarck High Demons lead at the end of one, 2-0 against the Century Patriots right here on the PSP Network and the Charbonneau Car Center Intermission show coming your way when we return.
This This presentation on the PSP Network is proudly brought to you by PSP Network on all social media platforms. PSP Network, it's game day.
Dakota Community Bank and Trust, your trusted partner for commercial and business loans. We not only provide lending you need to grow your business, but we also reinvest in our communities. We believe in strengthening our businesses and creating opportunities for success. Choose Dakota Community Bank and Trust for your commercial and business loans, and together let's keep our communities thriving.
Serving the community, looking out for you. At Dakota Community Bank and Trust, that's what we do.
Planning for the future is difficult, but pre-planning your funeral is a thoughtful way to ease the burden on your loved ones. At Stevenson Funeral Home, our compassionate team will help you create a personalized plan that reflects your values. We'll make sure that your wishes are honored and that your family will have peace of mind in a challenging time. Call us today to start your pre-planning journey. You can count on us to be with you every step of the way. Stevenson Funeral Home.
When facing disaster, it's not just the things we lose, but the memories. But there's hope. ServPro, with decades of experience in Minot and Bismarck, is always ready. Our certified professionals don't just restore homes, they rebuild lives. Because to us, you're not just a client, you're family.
At Ryan Buick GMC, we treat every day like game day.
1.2-liter turbo engine, ultra-wide screen.
1.2-liter turbo engine, ultra-wide screen, on 2. Ready?
We know how to get you in the right vehicle.
Blue Canyons, and hut, hut.
From the test drive to the handoff, we make every step easy. This season, start your drive at Ryan Buick GMC.
Nobody thinks about personal injury until it happens. But when injury strikes, so will your bills and the turmoil and everything you'll miss out on. It's a mess, and you need someone to help it all make sense. That someone is Schweigert, Clamine, and McBride. We know the territory and the process, and we work smart and hard to get you results. It's easier to get back to normal knowing there's a team behind you. We're the ones the other side doesn't want you to call. We're on your side. We're Schweigert, Clamine, and McBride.
For decades, Nodak Insurance Company has been serving our state's residents in good times and challenging times. We come together for the greater good, from simple acts of kindness to company-wide efforts that make a difference in our community. It's who we are, rooted in North Dakota and ready to serve when it matters most. Nodak Insurance Company, agents with answers.
Darren Johnson, Cody Olson, and Scott Wilkins, your agents with answers in Mandan.
After the first period of play, Bismarck High leads over Bismarck Century 2-0. First 17 minutes down as we welcome you into the Charbon Oak Car Center intermission show. Charbon Oak Car Center, they know drivers in Dickinson, New England, Richardson, Battlefield, Wilson, North Dakota, and Glendive, Montana. Work hard, play hard, need a car that can keep up. That's why they choose to offer Buick, GMC, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram lineup at their dealership in Dickinson. If you're interested in learning more, stop into their showroom and treat yourself to a test drive. Visit them online at sharpenamotors.com. Well, as we jump into talking about how that first period looked, let's hit the highlight playlist, and let's talk about it here early on. And it was Century that flipped the ice early, but Owen Dieter made some nice saves, made some early stops, and it bought some time as Easton Richardson going to find Kaysen Schwark there with, was it 4:07 remaining? And then catch the difference on this highlight to the next highlight time-wise. Just about 10-15 seconds later, it's Richardson to Schwark for a second time. That's two different highlights there. Just going to point that out. Same two players making some plays for Bismarck High. About 15 seconds difference puts them up 2-0. And for Bismarck High, I thought for them, they were able to, again, maybe didn't have the puck as long as Bismarck or as Century did, but they made the most of their opportunities, and they lead by 2 heading in to the second period.
Yeah, I think, to me, Century controlled more of the play, but that's not always what the score is going to look like. So, to me, BHS was opportunistic on the chances that they had, and I think Century needs to have a little bit more jam towards the net. You got to control. Again, I'm going to do a basketball analogy, even though I was terrible at basketball. I got no height for the sport. But you got to get to the paint, and I think for Century, they got to have a little more traffic in front of Dieter. We knew he was going to play well. Good bounce back period for him coming off of their previous game. But you got to get to the top of his crease. You got to take away his eyes. You're going to have perimeter shots. You got to have traffic, and you got to make sure you got guys going to the net, and that's going to open up other opportunities as well. So to me, a little bit more too much perimeter for Century. They did control the play, so if they can kind of dominate the paint, I think they're going to, start to generate some more offensive chances.
Yeah, and you've seen flashes from Century, too, in this game. You take a look, really in particular, on offense, the first and those third lines. The first line had probably the more scoring chances in that first period for Century with Frickman, Schulte, and Hager. I think we both really liked the play of Schulte in that opening period. And then that third line, I thought they did a good job of just flipping the ice. They kept it in their offensive zone. Maybe didn't generate the chances, but again was able to flip the ice and give their goalie a little bit of a break.
Well, absolutely. And I think whatever line you're on, so if that's one of their depth lines, how can you contribute? To me, they got good zone time. They created turnovers. They had good forechecks. I thought Astle had a nice period contributing, and that doesn't necessarily mean scoring chances, but allowed his team to have offensive zone time and play in the offensive zone rather than playing defense. So I just think they got to build on what they did. I think you're going to the period maybe a little bit discouraged, being down 2, but I thought they did a lot of positive things. And they just got to try to generate a little bit more with that possession that they had.
Then going with Bismarck High, I mean, 2 really grade A opportunities, and they put both in the back of the net. What did you like out of their play throughout in the first 17 minutes?
Well, I think, to me, they bring a good level of physicality. And the other part is they're opportunistic. So they get 2, I would just say, kind of their 2 grade A chances they put in the back of the net. Other than that, they didn't have a ton of looks. But any good team, you're opportunistic, and they're, Richardson, you expected to be an offensive catalyst. He made 2 great plays, and fortunately for them, they are up 2-0.
Well, more to come on the Charbonneau Car Center Intermission show here on the PSP Network.
At Shots Crossroads, we make 8 gallons of homemade ranch dressing every day, so you can smother your dinner salad with it, dip those crispy golden French fries in it, and dunk your breaded chicken strips. You can even cover your... Wait, no. You can't put ranch on steak, or can you? Shots Crossroads. Don't forget the ranch.
At Planning Team Financial Advisors, we help individuals create their personalized strategies. We specialize in financial planning, retirement planning, insurance, and 401k distribution options. Don't leave your future to chance. Call Planning Team Financial Advisors today for a free retirement review. Planning Team Financial Advisors, your plan, your future, your team.
Since 2003, the architects and engineers at Ackerman Esvold have been enhancing everyday life. From response times to commute times, we've helped create critical infrastructure, enhancing highway safety, flood protection, and public education. And we're no stranger to enhancing fun, family outings, and even game time. Ackerman Esvold, working to enhance your everyday life.
The foundation of the financial planning approach at Legacy Financial Partners is a personal relationship. Our unique and collaborative approach to financial planning starts with your dreams, not just the numbers. We will work with you regularly to take action to update your plan as your needs evolve, recommending products and services that are right for your situation.
The Jersey Mike's catering box is the easiest way to feed your friends. The hard part is picking your sub. That's why we're having a draft. With the first pick, Sarah from Carolina selects number 13, the original Italian.
You know, I trusted my gut, and that's exactly where the sub's gonna go, so.
Hold on, we've got a trade. Jake traded his second pick with me, because I'm starved. Freshly sliced subs to go, wherever you and your friends go. Jersey Mike's, a sub above.
Welcome back into the Charbonneau Car Center Intermission Show. I'm Brock Widener, joined alongside me Mario Lamoureux. And before we dive in and continue to talk about that first period between Bismarck High and Century, let's talk about scores around the great state. Again, earlier tonight, Minot United defeated Bismarck Legacy 4-2. And also another WDA team in action, Mandan, who started their WDA record 2-0 with wins against Century and Dickinson. They lead 2-1 against South Shanley with 6 minutes left in the second. A really good start to the season for the Braves.
Yeah, I think you got to feel really good about that. Obviously graduated a really good class that they had last year, losing guys like Chance Bryce and Carson Jers, Cameron Beaver. But you got guys that are coming in, stepping up, and being good contributors for their group. So I got to think they're feeling good about their game right now. But it's a long season. It's about trying to be consistent, but certainly happy with their start.
Now over on the EDC, the reigning state champs, Grand Forks Central, finds themselves up a goal against Devils Lake 2-1. And that Devils Lake team always finds a way to kind of hang in there. I think Devils Lake was one of the lone teams in state to defeat Grand Forks Central last year.
Yeah, well, you always have to be ready to play. You can't underestimate anyone or you get beat, especially the older you get. You can't underestimate anyone. But you can expect Grand Forks Central to be a wagon this year. They're returning some of their top guys again. So like any other year in the state, you can expect Central and Grand Forks Red River to be two of the top teams. Usually one of those two is the top team, and they're just great history. I'm a Grand Forks Central guy over here, so but a lot of history, and they got certainly a winning pedigree to go along with it.
Then over in Grafton Park River, the Spoilers are knotted up against Fargo North, 1 goal apiece at the end of 2. Other games in action but do not have score updates. Mayport area out in Minnesota taking on Kittison Central, and Fargo Davies taking on West Fargo Cheyenne. Seeing if there's any girls games in action, and the Night Riders of Grand Forks up 2-1 against East Grand Forks. So all the Grand Forks schools in action there in girls plays. That's 2-1 in that one at the end of 2. Well, we're getting ready for the second period in this one. It is Bismarck High up 2-0 over Century. Second period coming your way when we return on the PSP Network.
Dakota Community Bank and Trust, your trusted partner for commercial and business loans. We not only provide lending you need to grow your business, but we also reinvest in our communities. We believe in strengthening our businesses and creating opportunities for success. Choose Dakota Community Bank and Trust for your commercial and business loans, and together let's keep our communities thriving.
Serving the community, looking out for you. At Dakota Community Bank and Trust, that's what we do.
Well, 1 minute until we get ready for period number 2. Mario, final thoughts here and how these two teams need to get going, and we'll start it off with Century.
Well, I think for them, generate more traffic in front of Owen Dieter. You got to make it tougher for them to make saves. You had good puck possession, but you got to get greasier in the middle of the ice. And then on the BHS side, I just think, hey, you're maybe fortunate to be up 2-0, but you capitalized on a couple of chances. How do you build on that? I think for them, they showed a little bit more physicality those last 5 minutes once they got those goals. I think they got to kind of build on that. They're in a good position here. Now they got to try to find a way to kind of slow Sentry down a little bit.
So we got 8 seconds, and the whistles will go as Bismarck High still needs to make their way into the benches. But for Bismarck High, they've had, out of their 8 shots, maybe 2 grade A chances, and they struck on both of them. Kaysen Schwark, 2 for 2. He's got 2 goals, and Easton Richardson's got 2 assists. Tanner Fries also has an assist for the Demons, who lead by 2.
I think you'll see a big period out of this Schulte line. Schulte, Hager at Frickman. I think that they'll step up and make some plays here in the second period.
That's that first line for Century. They had some nice opportunities in period number 1. Expect the same here in the second period. Again, for this Century team, for them, you gotta think it's one of those things where they just need to see that puck go through the net. And now 4 periods where they've been held shut out.
Well, and to me, if you're struggling, any team that's struggling to score, the simplest thing you do is like, hey, obviously we got to get some shot volume, but get traffic to the net. You're not going to score pretty goals if you're not getting those greasy ones. So I think for them, it's about creating havoc in front of Dieter, and he's playing really well right now. So you got to make it tougher for him.
Picking up on the blue line is Johnson. He'll fire one. That's deflected high and wide. Chipped around the boards again. Almost a friendly deflection there for Fries, as that one almost got right on his tape, but could not quite fully get there. Now he loses his stick and has to pick that one up. Between the legs, the goaltender a hammer. He does pick it up as Schulte goes the other direction. Schulte leaves it to Frickman. He'll whack at it, tries to get in the direction of Hager. It not going to work there, as it was Fries who raced back and got in the way. Frickman to Schulte. Plays it around the boards. Frickman again, setting it up. Sparks now comes in on that second line. Here comes the shot. That one whistles low and away for Ty Backus. Bismarck High trying to go off and running with it the other direction. A collision right at center ice as we'll play on. Nice little physicality to start here in period number 2, continuing on from the physical play we saw in the opening period.
Yep, and I think for BHS, having that smart physical where they're, hey, we're slowing Sentry down by being physical, but we're not running around and getting out of position.
Bismarck High trying to come up with another opportunity. Slow rolling puck as Hammer will get on top of that one before Justin Steen, who was lurking in the area, could get a whack at it.
I'm really getting whiffs of these taco in a bag here in the VFW. I'm kind of getting hungry now.
It looked pretty good. I will say that. Haven't had supper yet, so maybe if they got them going after this game, might have to pick up one.
If anyone out there, we could use a taco in a bag.
Caleb Rogers goes to the backhand. Rogers goes down, and so does another Demon, and that allows Frickman to whack a couple times at that one and get it into the neutral zone and all the way into the Century offensive zone. They're trying to keep it there, but hand in the air, they'll have to touch back up. Caleb Rogers deflects it back, picked up by Kyle Livesay, and some quick touch passes by the defenseman for the Patriots. Both teams trying to gain possession as Livesay now will bring it in with that third line for the Patriots. He's bodied off the puck. Frickman, though, races in, the freshman defenseman. He'll provide pressure, allow his teammates to get off on a line change, and that one down the ice, hand in the air, and icing will bring it back. Big thanks out to our sponsors, Bones Barbecue Sauce, true North Dakota original, created and bottled right here in North Dakota. This premium barbecue sauce is perfect on anything from ribs to burgers to veggies. Find it today at your local grocery store, Cashwise, Marketplace, and Family Fare. Face-off won by BHS, and they'll send it down. It was deflected off of a Patriot glove, so no icing as the Demons race forward.
Looks like they moved Easton Eggert up to this top line with Schulte and Frickman. So I'm not sure if something happened to Hagerett or if they're just looking to mix it up a little bit.
As Richardson buys a nice little space there, fires his shot, but it's Hammer that denies him.
More of that one-on-one attack stuff from Richardson. He's been effective at it to this point. Another really great scoring chance from him.
Little bouncing puck. Hammer gets the save. Well, Hammer's save there against Richardson. That might be his best save of the night.
Well, that's a big one.
It keeps it a 2-goal game, and here you go again, Richardson. What a move. Gets open.
Just really, I mean, he's really good at attacking, defenders, and you kind of get flat-footed, and he'll expose you. So you just got to make sure, kind of keep him in front. You have good active sticks as a group out there to try and limit those chances, because he is very effective if you're kind of staring down at the puck.
Spinning puck goes all the way down the ice. Dieter puts the hand in the air. And Dieter just going to send it down himself as he'll just shoot the puck all the way down the ice. As line judge Pelkey will send it down, or will drop the puck here. Tie up there in the face-off circle. Lots of traffic up front. That puck not going to make its way to Hammer in the crease. And now Hagerett shows his speed. Tries to get on the outside of Hardy. Hagerett now will play it down into Nick Koster. And as you mentioned, a couple different line changes. A big hit there for Century. Continuing to lay the hammer as that will big hit for Oliver Sparks. As the sophomore Sparks has kind of lit a spark, if you can say, here for Century. He's had some nice shifts here for the Patriots today.
Yeah, he's going to be one of those young guys that I think will be a really good player by the end of the year for that group.
Kason Hagerett goes in for another check, and again, you see the Patriots starting to be maybe a little more of a physical team here in the second period right now.
Yeah, I mean, you got to kind of try to change the momentum because BHS has looked solid here through the first 5 minutes, so that's a good way to kind of change the momentum, turn the tide of this game.
Steen with a nice little puck move there. Cuts in, cuts back out. He's ran over from behind by Emerson Astle, and it looks like that is going to be a penalty. Coming up here.
I think it's on BHS. They're getting it for a slash. I didn't quite see what happened.
Yeah, it's going to get called against Justin Steen. Just of like how the play was going, you thought it was going to be on Century, but then the puck was whistled when Bismarck high touched it, and you're like, well, wait a minute. Might have missed something there.
So this is a big opportunity for Century. To me, BHS been a little bit better at the start of this second period. Now you got to try to get that puck possession and get grade A chances.
Schulte digs it out, brings it to the slot. That one deflected high and over the head of Dieter. Keeping on with it now is Frickman. Frickman behind the net. He examines, lays it out. From Heath to Reese. Reese Frickman lets one go, deflected up front. Second effort, Schulte swinging a miss. Schulte picks up the puck again. Keeps his eyes open. Cutting, Reese Frickman tries to work to the backhand, loses the handle. Schulte wins the race once more to it. Schulte absorbs a hit, dumps it down low. Reese Frickman lays it out to Backus. Hit the circle, that one deflected up front as Dieter couldn't see it, but it got a piece of Jet Warren. Puck behind the net again. Heath Frickman lays it out to Reese. Reese back to Heath. Shot blocked up by the skate blade. Good work there. Up by the Demons. PK unit. First minute successfully killed. Dieter tried to poke that one. A swing and a miss for him. But luckily no Century Patriot there in the crease. Schulte lays it out to Backus. Backus has got some room. Denied up front by Dieter again. Century's power play relentless, but Dieter's kept it out of the back of the net thus far. Backus jumps in on it. Sends it back to Reese Frickman. That one high. Bounces back in front of the crease. Frickman tames it down. Plays it over to his deep pairing partner, Backus. Into the rafters. Staying live on play. Frickman to Backus. One-timer. That one whistles wide. Dieter almost went out of the crease, I think, just to try to stop the entourage of attacks, to try just to glove that one. Didn't work. And the Demons have the long change. Have to go all the way to the other side of the ice. They'll sub out 2 different players. Couldn't get the whole 4. Frickman, saved by Dieter. Successful penalty kill, but the Patriots keep it swinging off the shot from Coaster. Loose puck, kept alive by Miller. Keeping it on the blue line. Coster now back to Miller. He slap shot. Dieter with another save, and Dieter was challenged, but he keeps his Demons up by 2.
Yep, I mean, lots of obviously shot volume from Sentry, but you'd like to see a little more unison with how they're moving on that power play, because they're taking a ton of shots, but not like great screens. So to me, it's just like you're just kind of throwing everything in the net, kind of hoping something will go in, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but I just think that they can probably generate some more grade A's with a little bit cleaner puck movement.
Well, they're keeping that volume going. Another shot, that one high. That'll be now tamed down by Ian Feist. But if you are head coach Troy Olsen, I think this is what you want to see, that pep in your step if you're the Patriots.
Oh, for sure. Like, I think you kind of felt like BHS had a little bit more pep in their step kind of at the start of the period, but that power play, certainly they seem to have a little bit more jump. They're faster on pucks. They're getting to second pucks off rebounds a little bit quicker. To me, it's still a positive power play. Now they got to find a way to get some more grade A chances.
Yeah, you're able to kind of put the Demons on their heels a little bit for at least 2 minutes, but it was more maybe closer to 3 minutes the way they kept it going.
Well, you always want your special teams. How does it create momentum for your group? So for them, they get the power play, and now they're continuing that pressure. So, hey, they didn't score, but we still got pressure. We're trying to build and build and build shift after shift. And no different than a penalty kill. Hey, we got a huge kill. Now let's get our momentum going the other way.
Big thing to note, though, that first line was out there the entire 2 minutes, and some of it maybe even longer than 2 minutes. So now it's seeing if that second and third line can give that first line a little bit of a breather for Sentry. Played in by Mansmith. Livesay now brings in the body and allows Mansmith to escape with the puck. Played to the blue line to Frickman. Into the gut. Once again, a Dieter.
Again, he's seeing those perimeter shots. I like that shot from there, but those forwards have got to fight to get in front of his eyes. I always say, like, your moving screens are great, so you got those goalies trying to look for pucks. But he's going to save those perimeter shots if you don't have the traffic.
Kyle Livesay into the face-off circle. He'll win the draw for Sentry. Continues to keep in possession. He'll leave it down to Astle. Astle, the big power forward, absorbs the check and plays it back to Miller on the blue line. Miller to Mansmith. Down to Astle underneath the crease. Going to hold up to it against the boards. Back to Mansmith. 8:30 remaining here in period number 2. Off the boards of Frickman. He'll race back. He's going to face some pressure there from Caleb Rogers. And Rogers relentless there trying to get the puck back for the Demons.
Reese Frickman's had a real nice game so far. A lot of good shots from the point, rushing pucks up, snapping passes up to his forward. So I really like where his game's at for being a young player.
Schulte had a Demon stick on both sides of his armpits and still fought through. Now he's going to try to jam one in, and another save by Dieter. Well, Schulte felt some of the Demon sticks and just said, hey, I'm going to take both of them. Hey, why not?
Schulte's so good at kind of being able to handle pucks with traffic on him and not panic with it, where a lot of players will just throw it away. They'll try to throw it on net. He's got great patience and just being able to hold on to the puck and kind of wait just a little bit longer for something to open up. So just love a lot about his game.
Kaysen Schwark, he'll backhand one. He was being pushed against the boards and he strings one up to Richardson, but Richardson with some contact was not able to get to that puck. He'll even let a little shot there at the end to tie Backus. Played behind the crease, Backus now there. Backus pass goes by Miller, scooped up by Heath Frickman. Frickman back to Backus, trying to advance that one, just getting a piece of it. To tame that puck down there is Harrison Schnell. Played back in. Richardson's going to have to tag back up for the Demons. And he does. allows the Patriots to set up a play here, try to set something up as Frickman puts it right on to Backus. The Demons see if they get that offense going as the ice has been sort of tilted here in the Century favor here in period number 2. But shots right now dead even, 12 apiece here in the first about 27 minutes of play. Richardson shows his patience, was waiting. Now he'll just fire one in. He absorbs a check from Kason Haggard. Stenchen pass to Coaster. Coaster hit from behind by Feist. Feist tried to push it up to Steen. Steen trying to fight for it back, but it's Backus dumping it in and going to get a fresh pair of legs on the blue line for the Patriots. Fisher back to Frickman. Plenty of pressure by Ian Feist. On the forecheck and then tried to turn in the back check. Coaster. His shot goes wide of the net. The Demons trying to grind this one out of the zone, but it's the Patriots again that have amped up the pressure here in the second period. Frickman, low roller, and Dieter's on it again.
When you think about how many shot attempts Century's had, and they only have 13 listed shots, they probably have almost 40 shot attempts in this game, but got to obviously find a way to get more of those pucks on net. And obviously we talked about the traffic and getting bodies towards the crease. So they really got to find a way to get those pucks on net. But PHS obviously doing a good job blocking shots and making them shoot wide, I guess.
I was in Dickinson for Dickinson-Mandan on Friday. It was about 40, 45 shots for Mandan on goal. I would say probably upwards to 80 to 90 shots in general for Mandan. It was just how many block shots for Dickinson was quite amazing to watch. Astle fighting for it. He comes away out of the pile. He fires a shot, but no, could not quite get that one to go as Johnson had a stick in the way. Forced him not to be able to pull the trigger there. Stenchen here for the Demons. Steen wins the race, brings it in. All the Demons going in for a line change. Goes right to Caleb Rogers, who jumps onto the ice. Rogers lays it back, centering play. Swing and a miss on the shot attempt for Kyle Loris. Loris plays it up, allows Rogers to go after it, the freshman forward for the Demons. Astle sends it around, no Patriot home as jumping the route is Ganger. Right to the blue line, firing a shot. That one sticked up high by Hammer, comes down. It's going to be on a high stick. Just to take a look at the preseason polls, Century was projected second in WDA according to the WDA coaches. The EDC coaches thought Century was the number 1 team out of the West. Bismarck High sliding in at number 7 among the Western region coaches. The Eastern region coaches had them slated 8th best out of the West region.
Yeah, I always there's a little bit of validity to the preseason polls, but I put pretty much no stock into what the preseason polls say because you just never know what you got coming into the season. I think every year that we did it, especially I remember my first year coaching, they had Williston finishing first. I think they finished 6th or 7th, so you just never know.
And I think this year, I think that the you don't know factor is maybe amped up, especially to start this season, of how even we've seen a lot of these teams play against each other and the varying styles we've seen on the ice this year as well.
For sure, and look at like what each team lost from last year. Like Minot loses a ton, Century loses a ton, Legacy loses some good players. So you just never know, do those young players coming up, are they going to be impactful? So
another try on the power play. It was a Richardson penalty for Bismarck High. So not only are they out one of their top playmakers, and now they're on the man disadvantage, shorthanded. Some pushing and shoving. Wait, it's in the back of the net. But I think it was waved off.
Yeah, I mean, I think Dieter had it, and I don't know if whoever was, I think Keith Frickman was net front and took a whack at it, and it went in, so I'm not exactly sure how they saw it.
We'll for sure get a rise out of the Century student section for sure, seeing that lamp get lit up.
We want them to get fired up over there. We need a controversial call.
Adds to the environment, the ambiance.
We need it.
3:55 remaining here in period number 2. Again, I'm Rock Widener, joined alongside me Mario Lamoureux for the doubleheader tonight. You're just joining us. Minot United defeated Bismarck Legacy 4-2. Now it's 2-0 Bismarck High against Century. Miller fires a shot, blocked up front. Dieter loses track. Great recovery by the junior netminder. But Century on the power play, continuing to amp it up. It's Schulte with the one-timer. That's blocked up front. Getting in the way of it's Jevin Olsen. Frickman plays it down low. Miller fakes the slap shot. Will play it down to Hagerut. Hagerut, backwards pass. Leaves it for Frickman. He goes to attack. Denied again by Dieter. Sticking with it's Frickman. Works to the slot. Deflected up front. Demons get it out of there for now. 1 minute down on the power play. And Dieter with another spectacular save.
God, he is just playing super well right now. And BHS as a group has done a great job blocking shots. Again, on that first minute of the power play, how many shot attempts? Probably 7 or 8 shot attempts. I don't know. I think maybe 1 or 2 of them were on net. So they did a good job blocking shots. And Dieter's obviously playing well.
3:09. Again, our scoreboard has had some issues here in this game. It was worked perfectly in game number 1, but on the timing side of things. But right now, again, it is 3 minutes remaining here in the second period. 45 seconds on the power play. Reese Frickman plays it back down to Oliver Sparks. Plenty of traffic presented here on the second power play group for Century, but Dieter again, cool, calm, composed.
Yep, I'd really like to see, Century's done a good job kind of getting good movement up top. I'd really like to see, because you can see BHS starting to track upwards kind of at the top of the zone where he can start using those low plays. So if they can kind of get a pop-out guy around the goal line as they get those pucks up top, I really think they can open up a low play and 2-on-1 someone down low.
As Century with 35 seconds yet on the man advantage, they're going to bring out that top line that has presented a lot of scoring chances once again. Hagerut, Schulte, and Frickman. Face-off one for Century. Schulte battling hard. That puck not going to quite escape. Yes, it does. Reese Frickman going to have to enter the neutral zone and try to set something up again. 18 seconds left on the man advantage. Here comes Frickman. Backhand. Not sure he lost the handle or if Dieter got a piece of it. Either way, a big stop for the Demons. And it's going to go sent down the ice. Richardson chomping at the bit. And he is back on. Full strength for Bismarck High.
Another good kill from BHS. There's still some good opportunities for Century, but BHS keeping Century off the board.
Racing now forwards, Keaton Schulte. Schulte facing some back checking there, the Demons. Who go all the way, a whole circle. That one bouncing by Dieter, and it is in. Schulte's shot provides the traffic. And it's punched in by Heath Frickman.
Yeah, when we talked about being at the top of the crease to be able to generate scoring chances. Schulte does a good job of hanging on to that puck, gets it on net. And then right at the top of the crease, there's Frickman to put the rebound in.
Heath Frickman back in the lineup, missed game 1 of the season. Well, he makes his impression met. A goal in his first game on this season's campaign, and it brings it within 1 for Century. And assisted by Keaton Schulte that really drove home that play. Well, the Patriots started kind of turning it in their favor here in period number 2, and now they have a goal to prove the show for it. Going for it now is Steen. Jumping on his high horse is Feist. Feist trying to get that puck back on the sticks here of the Demons. Feist and Steen working hard. Coming out of the pile with a turn and shoot denied by Hammer with 1:10 remaining. Tamed down, sent right back into the zone by Bryce Hardy. Hammer makes a little of a save. Big collision. And the puck sent down the ice. And the long change for Century only allows them to change one player on that one. Richardson racing forward. He's got Miller to beat. He does. Centers one. Jamming and it's Freeze and it's in. Richardson to Freeze. And a quick response to go back up by 2 for the Demons.
Big goal from the Demons there, but just hard forechecking there and get a fortunate bounce off the side of the net. I'm not exactly sure how that squeaked in, but that's an excellent response from BHS.
Let's take a look to see how it squeaked in here, Mario. See if we got the answers for you on the Ryan Family Dealership Instant Replay.
It almost looked like it maybe went off of the shin pad of Freeze and then bounced on net and kind of somehow squeaked in. But nice forechecking from Easton Richardson. So you talk about Easton Richardson making those big plays, making, I will say, nice plays in the first period, and then he gets a little grease right there on that play, but that's just hard forecheck and being hard in the puck. And then that's a huge goal last minute of the period. Century finally gets on the board, but that's a huge goal for that group.
Well, right before intermission, too, after Century had the momentum on their side, you take it away and you keep up by 2 going to the third, if it stays for the next 10 seconds. As played back in by the Demons, and Reese Frickman just going to keep it on his tape, and that will be the end of period number 2. Standing ovation on the far side for Bismarck High faithful as they gave up a late goal but get one right back to go right up back by 2, 3-1 as we head on over to the second intermission here on the PSP Network. As that's coming your way, brought to you again in part by Charbonneau Car Center.
This presentation on the PSP Network is proudly brought to you by social media platforms. PSP Network, it's game day.
Dakota Community Bank and Trust, your trusted partner for commercial and business loans. We not only provide lending you need to grow your business, but we also reinvest in our communities. We believe in strengthening our businesses and creating opportunities for success. Choose Dakota Community Bank and Trust for your commercial and business loans, and together let's keep our communities thriving.
Serving the community, looking out for you. At Dakota Community Bank and Trust, that's what we do.
Planning for the future is difficult, but pre-planning your funeral is a thoughtful way to ease the burden on your loved ones. At Stevenson Funeral Home, our compassionate team will help you create a personalized plan that reflects your values. We'll make sure that your wishes are honored and that your family will have peace of mind in a challenging time. Call us today to start your pre-planning journey. You can count on us to be with you every step of the way. Stevenson Funeral Home.
When facing disaster, it's not just the things we lose, but the memories. But there's hope. ServPro, with decades of experience in Minot and Bismarck, is always ready. Our certified professionals don't just restore homes, they rebuild lives. Because to us, you're not just a client, you're family.
This presentation on the PSP Network is proudly brought to you by on all social media platforms. PSP Network, it's game day.
Our initial reaction when we realized he had 2 broken bones was fear. Then once we realized and got a plan with Trinity and our doctor, a lot of comfort.
He told me that he can fix my arm, and he showed me a lot of stuff that he could do to help me.
Trinity Health Orthopedics is as good as you can find anywhere in the country. A lot of us take pride in that, and that's why we stay here and we keep doing what we do.
Trinity Health, making more possible.
Planning for the future is difficult, but pre-planning your funeral is a thoughtful way to ease the burden on your loved ones. At Stevenson Funeral Home, our compassionate team will help you create a personalized plan that reflects your values. We'll make sure that your wishes are honored and that your family will have peace of mind in a challenging time. Call us today to start your pre-planning journey. You can count on us to be with you every step of the way. Stevenson Funeral Home.
Welcome back into the second intermission as we get ready for the third period. Bismarck High leads 3-1 over Century here on the PSP Network. And as we're talking about the first 2 periods, well, let's go get that highlight package there rolling for you on your screen. But it all started off here early on. You saw Century kind of flip the ice in that first period to start, but Bismarck was opportune of their times, and they made the most of it. Case and Schwark netting not only 1, but 2 goals back-to-back, both assisted by Easton Richardson, and Tanner Freese getting assisted on that second goal later in the first period to go up 2-0. And what did you like to see out of Bismarck in that first period?
I thought they were opportunistic with their chances, and I just think, for BHS, for them, you're in a good position right now. You really got to just kind of play physical, play strong, try and keep pucks to the outside, and just try to limit what Century's going to do, because they got, between Frickman and Schulte, 2 guys that can really wheel around. You got to limit their chances, because you can expect that they're going to try to come out and have a real strong third.
Then in the second period, there was a nice try there from Easton Richardson, but it was a lot of Century offense and Century puck possession in the second period. But Owen Dieter standing tall there. You see lots of traffic, and he's had to deal with a decent amount of traffic here today, but has only let up 1 goal that you'll see on your screen here just shortly. And there it is right on cue. It was Heath Frickman batting away at it, assisted by Keaton Schulte.
Yep, and I think for them, BHS is doing a great job of kind of boxing things up, where Century does have the puck in the offensive zone, but they're having a hard time kind of getting to the middle of the net. So I think what they got to do is just kind of have more speed going to the net, getting more traffic. If the shot's coming, we're trying to make our way there a little bit quicker, so that Dieter can't get eyes on those puck early, and you really try to force him to move his head. And I always say, if you want to screen the goalie, if that goalie's not moving his head, you're not screening good enough. So you got to really make him adjust his sight line to find pucks, or he's going to make those saves, and he's played excellent so far in these first 2 periods.
And that last highlight you saw there, shortly after, I think less than a minute and a half after that goal there for Heath Frickman, it was Tanner Freese that jams one home, assisted by, guess who, Easton Richardson, who has 3 apples here in this contest. He's been a part of all 3 goals for the Demons.
Well, he's just a dynamic offensive player, and I think for him, you're expecting him to make plays, but you're going to have to do it in different ways. And I think you saw 2 nice plays in the first period, and for him to go in just kind of more of a forechecking goal where you're just creating a turnover, deep in the offensive zone, that just comes from effort. So it's nice to see that he's creating offense, not just trying to attack guys one-on-one, but doing it in a couple different ways.
Yeah, he's been fun to watch, and so has kind of the counterpart on the other end. Keaton Schulte talked to us a little bit about his game that you've liked here in the first couple periods.
Well, he has the puck a lot. He always seems to be around the play, and he's got a very good calmness to his game, where he's patient with that puck. He doesn't feel pressure and want to panic and throw the puck away. He's able to keep it. Now can he have guys around him working on getting open to try and generate those grade A looks, because he's doing a great job protecting, keeping it. Now you got to generate that into a grade A chance. So I think for me, it's more the guys around him working to get open a little bit more and find those openings or getting to the net to clear more space for him. But he's done a lot of really positive things so far in this game.
The winter season just kicking off here on the PSP Network. Again, we've got 2 hockey games tonight, as well as had a girls basketball game going on tonight, as that one has just gone final not too long ago. South Prairie Max defeated Kenmere Bowbells 59-43. Again, tomorrow, make sure you tune in for prime time on PSP Network. And Thursday, more hockey coming your way. Boys hockey, Jamestown versus Minot. And then Friday night, it's Williston versus Dickinson in a Bakken battle. And it's Saturday, girls basketball, West Fargo versus Minot. Still to come on PSP Network this week. So lots of great games to get us ready for the winter season. Already got some hockey, and now slowly starting to sprinkle in basketball season in as well. Let's take another break as we get closer for the 3rd period start as the Demons lead up by 2 goals.
At Shots Crossroads, we make 8 gallons of homemade ranch dressing every day, so you can smother your dinner salad with it, dip those crispy golden French fries in it, and dunk your breaded chicken strips. You can even cover your... Wait, no. You can't put ranch on steak. Or can you? Shots Crossroads. Don't forget the ranch.
At Planning Team Financial Advisors, we help individuals create their personalized strategies. We specialize in financial planning, retirement planning, insurance, and 401k distribution options. Don't leave your future to chance. Call Planning Team Financial Advisors today for a free retirement review. Planning Team Financial Advisors. Your plan, your future, your team.
Since 2003, the architects and engineers at Ackerman Estvold have been enhancing everyday life. From response times to commute times, we've helped create critical infrastructure, enhancing highway safety, flood protection, and public education. And we're no stranger to enhancing fun, family outings, and even game time. Ackerman Estvold, working to enhance your everyday life.
The foundation of the financial planning approach at Legacy Financial Partners is a personal relationship. Our unique and collaborative approach to financial planning starts with your dreams, not just the numbers. We will work with you regularly to take action to update your plan as your needs evolve, recommending products and services that are right for your situation.
The Jersey Mike's catering box is the easiest way to feed your friends. The hard part is picking your sub. That's why we're having a draft. With the first pick, Sarah from Carolina selects number 13, the original Italian.
You know, I trusted my gut, and that's exactly where the sub's going to go. So
Hold on, we've got a trade. Jake traded his second pick with me, because I'm starved. Freshly sliced subs to go, wherever you and your friends go. Jersey Mike's, a sub above.
Dakota Community Bank and Trust, your trusted partner for commercial and business loans. We not only provide lending you need to grow your business, but we also reinvest in our communities. We believe in strengthening our businesses and creating opportunities for success. Choose Dakota Community Bank and Trust for your commercial and business loans, and together let's keep our communities thriving.
Serving the community, looking out for you. At Dakota Community Bank and Trust, that's what we do.
Welcome back into the Charbonneau Car Center halftime show. Big thanks out to our sponsors that make this broadcast possible. Big thank out to the Aggie Foundation. Again, once we get going on the winter season, a minor vote each week for the PSP Network Player Performance of the Week. Nominees will be posted on social media each Monday, with the winners announced on Thursdays. The Player Performance of the Week is sponsored in part by the Aggie Foundation as well as Minot State. Learn about the charitable work at aggiefoundation.com. Well, Mario, we got 34 minutes down, 17 to decide a winner. But before we really get into maybe what they need to do, that mentality they need to have going into the third period, how big was that goal there for Bismarck High at the end of the period? Century was a minute and a half or something. I think it was a minute and a half. They make it within one, but just a minute later, Bismarck High goes back up by 2.
It's such a killer kind of to your confidence, your momentum. You feel like, hey, we're starting to control the play. We finally get on the board, and then you kind of have a squeaker go in at the other end. It can be a little bit demoralizing for a team. So to me, that's a huge goal for BHS. You talk about kind of the first minute, last minute of a period, kind of trying to be momentum for the following period. And to me, that's a killer. And that makes it tough to kind of climb back in this game with how well Owen Dieter is playing.
So now we kind of get in ready for the third period. What do they need to do to try to find a way to get past Dieter not once but twice to tie this game?
Yeah, so I know we've talked about in zone, trying to get more traffic towards the net. To me, on their rush offense, it's been a lot of one guy skate by himself, everyone else watching. So when they do get those rush chances, they got to have better net speed going at the net with guys crashing through the middle to try and drive the Bismarck High defenseman back. And that's going to open up other plays kind of in the, I just call it the secondary. Try and push those deep back, and then you got guys coming in late for trailers, and they really got to try and find a little bit more rush offense. Not just the in zone, throw everything at the net type of offense.
So Century back on the ice, and for Bismarck High, what do you got to do for the next 17 minutes just to try to hold on to this lead?
I think you're playing smart physical. As a 5-man unit, you have really good sticks all over the ice. You got to try to find a way to limit guys like Frickman and Schulte and just not allow them to wheel around the ice with puck possession easily. They'll create chances because they're good players, but you got to try and limit them, keep them perimeter if you can, and you do that by, as a 5-man unit, having good sticks on the ice.
So we get ready for period number 3. Again, it is 3-1, Bismarck High. Apologize for our scoreboard issues here in this one, but been working hard behind the scenes. Nick Holberg, I can't thank him enough of trying to get us all situated here, and it's technology. I mean, you got to just throw it in the air and hope it works some nights.
Nick's the man back there. We love Nick.
Cool, calm, composed back there.
Yeah, he's the man.
17 minutes on the board, and let's get going as the Demons lead by 2. One-time opportunity right away from Easton Eggert, but that one a swing and a miss. But right back for Schulte. He fires one high.
Great response from Heath Frickman. He coming out like a bat out of hell, trying to be physical, and that hit from him created that great scoring chance for Schulte.
And as you mentioned, I think you brought it up at the end of the second, Easton Eggert has been getting us a couple of first-line reps as he started the day on that fourth line, is getting a little bit more and more playing time as this one's continued on.
Yep, and he's going to be someone that they expect to step up. So he's a very good player. young player, but he's someone that could step up and do well in that role.
Did a good job of trying to get this puck. Here's Johnson as we have got a log jam right there in the corner. And the log jam ends up losing a player, and they're going to put another one to the penalty box. Tanner Freeze looks like he'll be going and spending 2 minutes in the sin bin.
God, you talk about controlling emotion. A couple big hits early, and now you take what I would just say is a little bit of an undisciplined penalty. And, you hope that Century doesn't capitalize on this because they come out looking to make a statement so far in that first minute.
And that's going to potentially aid to the cause or help the cause for Century trying to come back down by 2, getting a man advantage early on here in the third period. Pass those goes by Ty Backus, as Backus, though, keeps it somehow on his stick. He's going to bring it into the slot. That one just wide off a deflection. Backus continues to work for it. Dieter, though, going to pounce out after the puck, and he's not going to let anything go up to chance. And Dieter with a little flex afterwards as well.
I think they're friends. Maybe they're chirping each other, though.
Hey, he's having fun. That's all that matters.
Yeah, when you're having fun, sometimes it's easier to play well.
Played back down around the boards. Schulte dips it down to Frickman. Frickman on the near circle. Leaves it on to Miller. Little touch back to Frickman. His shot blocked up in front by Schwark. Another shot, that one into the glove of Dieter.
And again, you talk about being in front of the goalie's eyes. You can't be a foot off because now your goalie's seeing the puck, and you can see there Hagerot just off to the side a little bit, making an easy save for Owen Dieter.
So Dieter making the save there as puck going right to the blue line. Backus keeps his eyes up. He's going to fire a shot. Not sure if what's Dieter saw that puck, but that one screams wide. Schulte, lots of traffic up front. Still working in front. Dieter shuts the door for now. Loose puck, wrap around, and it's in. Heath Frickman scores his second on the night. And as he's going back, he's trying to get the student section hyped as Century right back in striking distance.
I love getting hyped. Let's go. Nice goal from Heath there. Again, a great battle down low. Heath Frickman stays on it. Is able to kind of get around that net and beat Dieter to the post. So great response. Again, you go back to that penalty, a little bit undisciplined. Now you've given Century some life, and now all of a sudden we got a 1-goal game.
That was a key play now because it was right off that power play, and now you got 15 minutes to try to find the equalizer. So Hagerut going to be getting the assist. So again, that's Frickman from Hagerut, and we got a 1-goal hockey game with 15 minutes to play. Chipped down by Ian Feist. Reese Frickman quickly advance it up on the end to Nick Custer. He'll just let that one go. Corralled by Jet Warren. Warren fires it off the board. And corralled there by Frickman on the other end. Third line back out there for Century. Astle, Livesay, Mansmith. Trying to have the numbers advantage to get that puck out of their own zone. They do. Mansmith avoids a check, and here he goes. Mansmith to Astle, and he's going to have to touch up. Just crossed. Would have been offsides. Heads a play to let that one go, and he comes right back for it to Astle. Johnson, though, somehow avoids some contact, fires his shot high off the boards. Into the glass is Astle. Plays it on forward. Astle takes a peek. A little miscommunication, but we'll buy time for him to race on over and get in for a line change, and we'll be bringing this one back.
You can definitely see some, start of this period. Century comes out just showing a lot of life, and to me that started with Heath Frickman coming out, being physical early, and now he's getting rewarded with his second goal of the game. But to me, that started with him just coming out with some intensity.
Shots right now, 25-15, favoring Century, who's got 1 goal back, seeing if they can even things up here in the last 13 and a half minutes. Schwark looking for a hat trick. Saved by Hammer, not once, but twice.
That's a huge save at this point in the game, because Century kind of turned the tides. If that puck goes in, all of a sudden, I think you're pretty deflated. But that's a big save from Hammer.
Yeah, there's the first one, and Schwark not going to give up on the play, trying to see that one through. He's had a strong game, especially in that first period. Richardson, 3 assists night. He's going to fire one off the pad of Hammer. Freeze centers a pass. There's a broken stick. And Century skedaddling out of the zone with the puck. Nick Coaster going to wait for a teammate pass in. Aaron going to go behind and corralled by Carvo, who's going to just have to double touch this one up. Little tic-tac-toe passing right at mid-ice. 12:48 remaining. Played back down into the glove of Hammer. He's just going to let this one stay out, as no Bismarck High Demon was anywhere in the area. Easton Eggert lays the body. Eggert, the sophomore, again, has got more and more of his number called as this game's gone on. Student section up front letting them hear it as they battle up for this one, as Kyle Livesay almost comes way out of the pile with it. Flipped up top, kept in by Frickman. Frickman able to deke around one defender, but has it poked loose by the duo of Steen and Feist. And those two have done a good job as kind of like those kind of the grindy forwards, if you will, for the Demons. Stretch pass, Livesay plays it up. He's going to get a shot towards the head area, and that will be a penalty.
Another undisciplined penalty. You cannot take that kind of penalty at this stage in the game. It's really undisciplined, and that, you know, hopefully it doesn't cost him. Like, you hope you can get a big kill out of your guys, but you just got to be smart there.
We called on number 29, Ian Feist, his second penalty on the season. First on the game, and 11:48 remaining here in the third. Century brought with themselves within one off a power play goal. Can the lightning strike twice for the Patriots? Time will tell. Played back, picked up by Reese Frickman. Over to Heath, back to Reese. Can Heath Frickman, number 18 in white's got 2 goals already. He's got the lone 2 goals for Century. Bo Miller now fires a shot. That one rings iron. Little sweet chin music for the Patriots. And the Demons clear, and Hammer had to stay vigilant there as that one came quickly on the other side of the ice. Richardson comes away with it, a 3-assist night for him. He's just short-handed, but trying to make something happen. Loses the puck, advances back in, looking for the hat trick. It's Heath Frickman, slowed up, scooped up his Hagerot. Oh, that one just steers wide. Schulte there, picks it up, and he will take a trip right into the slot. Kick save by Dieter. Dieter trying to push Frickman out of his crease. Showing some emotion there's the junior goaltender.
You like to see it, but you got to play smart. The refs have shown that, hey, they might call one of those, and you don't want to put yourself down another man and keep giving Century opportunities for offense.
Heath Frickman, save. Here's Reese Frickman, that one wide. The Frickmans both have an opportunity apiece, but Dieter shuts the door again. Winning the race out to it is Steen. Steen trying to have this penalty kill. Time on that power play continuing to trickle down. 30 seconds left on the man advantage. Second unit starting to get out there for Century. Shot that's deflected wide off the stick of Jacob Fisher. Heath Frickman, though, still out there. Everyone else has kind of been changed out except him. Another save for Dieter. Frickman got a piece, but it's Dieter again. Well, there was almost goal number 3 there for Heath Rickman.
Yeah, he's been all over the ice, and like they expect him to be a really good offensive player. He's got a ton of talent. You can see what a difference maker he is when he's out there and he's working. He's intense, he's physical, he's being engaged, and when he doesn't have that, you kind of don't notice him quite as much. But man, when he does, he is tough to stop.
Scooped up well by Livesay, played back to Livesay. Even strength penalty is officially killed there for the Demons.
That's a huge kill for them.
And they're racing onto the ice is Richardson. A little dipsy doodle play there. But it's poked loose and a quick line change there by Easton Carvo. Off kind of that stanchion right back near the crease, poked back into the corner by Hammer. More pressure by Kaysen Schwark. He's got 2 goals already. Tames it down for Johnson. Johnson fires a shot, a low glove save for Hammer. Seeing the offenses start opening up here in the third.
I hope so. We like to see it up here.
It was very physical first and second. Still a little bit physical in the third, but you're seeing these offenses really start to shine.
Yeah, well, I think, for Century, you're down a goal. You might start taking chances.
Schulte. He's got Hagerett with him. Schulte elects to shoot, and Dieter denies him at the doorstep. But Schulte right back again. Centers a pass for Frickman. That one just a little off cue. Racing the other way is Schwark. Schwark fires a shot. Another glove save for Hammer.
Yeah, a little bit back and forth now, but you see that rush, and it's a miss, and then you got guys stuck low. Boom, then it's back the other way.
Well, I think everyone's wondering at home here, Mario, are we going to get a hat trick tonight? You got 2 chances, 1 on each side.
Well, with the way Frickman's been buzzing, it wouldn't surprise me to see him get on the board again. And if Richardson can make another sweep play, I could see Schwark putting one home again.
They've been fun to watch as here comes Feist. Feist lays it back to the top of the key to Jet Warren, and quick whistle and a late chop there. Demons wanting a penalty. I don't think, though, they're going to get one.
I can see why they're upset, though, because maybe because you're getting some retaliation penalties on the BHS side, and that's a pretty good little whack. So he's probably lucky that he didn't pick up a 2-minute minor there.
You start to get these emotions, especially when we get halfway through period number 3.
And this is where you just got to be smart. You got everything's on the line right now. You don't want to take that dumb penalty that could cost your team.
Quick pass out on the extension to Nick Coaster. Hits the brakes, fires a shot. That one deflects it, almost finds the top of the net there. Now Reese Frickman lays one in. That's blocked up front by Steen, and Feist now races forward. Feist sandwiched up top, and he kind of shoves off of Miller, and more pushing and shoving. As said, maybe the third period was the least physical. Well, I think I'm going to take that statement back.
Yeah, you might have to. And I watch these guys, and they're coming in. They're kind of getting those shots high, and you're leaving it open for the ref to want to call one. Don't even give them the chance to call it.
Well, we'll see. Maybe that's going to be the key. What team stays out of the penalty box in the next 8:15 might be the one to win it.
For our excitement, they can hit all they want, because then it'll get real exciting for us up here. But you don't want to do that and cost your team.
Astle, he centers one. Mansmith fights for a shot, does get one. Livesay leaves it back to Astle. This third line, this has been just fun to watch, these three out here in Astle, Livesay, and Mansmith.
Just really hard on the puck. They got second pucks that they're getting to, and they're
Livesay
physical.
In the slot, almost get us a shot, but it's sent down the ice. Sorry about that, Mario.
Nope, that's okay. Things happen quick up here. Got to adjust.
I saw one in the slot, and I'm like, oh, man, here's a grade A opportunity. Just swing and a miss.
No, but that third line has been very effective. But just doing, a lot of simple things well. Let's be physical. Let's be fast on pucks. Let's forecheck well. All things that make you a really effective line.
And now back to that first line that's been fireworks thus far, as lit the lamp twice for the Patriots. Of Schulte, Hagerut, and Frickman. And you could just see the night and day difference with adding Frickman into the lineup. He missed that man-to-man game. He comes in, and he's provided that spark to that first line.
Well, it just has the ability to put the puck in the net. Now, the hardest thing to do in hockey is score goals, and he's obviously, probably their most dangerous offensive player.
Reese trying to work it to Heath Frickman. Schulte now will gather it up and extend it off the boards. Brought in by Heath Frickman. Heath to Reese. Slowly bring it all the way down the blue line. Finds Kaysen Hagera. Hagera lowers the shoulder, but he falls down. Schulte trying to keep possession, but the Demons will exit it with Schwark. Schwark and Richardson, that's that dynamic duo for the Demons. Puck played off the boards. Schulte chips one. It's going to be taken away there and played right back into the zone by Bryce Hardy. Again, a freshman that's had some nice shifts here for BHS. Talked a lot about it today in the first game and this game here about those underclassmen performing. We've seen a lot of good underclassmen performances here tonight. And here comes an opportunity for Century, and burying it to tie the game. It's Oliver Sparks right on cue. It's a sophomore that ties it up.
Another one of those young guys that we were just talking about, being able to step up. What a big goal for him.
Well, that is what you want to see if you are a Century Patriot fan. A sophomore coming in and tying this game up at 3 apiece.
Not a bad time to get your first high school goal.
No, not at all. 6:22 remaining in the third. And there you see 3 Demons trying to chase him down, but he makes the most of his opportunity. And that's Sparks' first varsity goal.
But that sophomore line of Koster, Fisher, and Sparks, they got some offensive ability. They're all smart players. I just think you're going to see guys like that grow more and more and more as each game goes by this year.
Well, Sparks ties it up, and now it's anyone's game here in the final 6 minutes. And eventually, when you have all that traffic up front, and that one was, again, kind of that breakaway look, but you've seen the Century as this game's progressed, getting better and better opportunities on offense. And here in this third period has paid off with 2 goals. Seeing if they can try to find the go-ahead, or will the Demons bounce back on top. Firing a shot is Kaysen Hagera. That one blocked up front. Frickman to Schulte. Back to Frickman. Looking for the hat trick and the go-ahead, but that one blocked up front. Schulte to Frickman. Leaves it off for him. Behind the net. Keeps his eyes open. Plays it back. Quick passing on the blue line. Reese Frickman. That one high. Tamed down by Heath in the far corner. Clapper for Carvo. Some traffic, and Dieter's there.
Kind of a quietly good game from Easton Carvo tonight. Nothing too crazy. Don't notice him a whole lot, but just a lot of good, steady plays. Throwing a few pucks at the net. And just overall, kind of a sneaky, quiet, good game out of him.
Sometimes for defensemen, that's what you kind of want to hear. Oh, we didn't really notice them too much, because that means, hey, they did their job efficiently.
Absolutely, and actually a lot of high-level scouts will say, hey, if I don't notice you as a defenseman, that's probably a good thing. You're just doing a lot of simple things well, making your D-to-D passes, advancing pucks up to your forwards. And to me, for defensemen, if you want to be good baseline defensemen, just hit singles all game.
On the other end, BHS with an opportunity. Here comes Century racing the other end. It's Sparks. He's got the game tangled as the sophomore. See if he could try to find another spark for his team.
You can see just another level of intensity after he gets that goal. And that's a guy, if he can get some confidence, he's a very smart player. He can be really good for that group this year, so that's a big goal for him.
Miller with quite the effort keeps it in. Turn and shoot for Mansmith. Astle.
Another BHS penalty here.
You can see the frustration there for Richardson. It's not on him, but he jumps out of the bench, and you can just see his frustration.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't exactly see what happened, but again, like, you're leaving things open for the ref to call. I think that he basically was a late hit, I think what I saw. But yeah, you just gotta stay disciplined at this point in the game. Century's controlling the play, and now you're giving them another opportunity to go and now get the go-ahead goal on the power play.
Especially on this power play that has looked really solid pretty much since the jump of this game.
And you have a Heath Frickman that looks like he's found a new level right now, and Keaton Schulte played solid the whole game. Like, you got a team that hasn't scored for 5 periods. They get on the board, and now they seem to be finding their groove a little bit. So you don't want to give them those extra looks.
Sometimes that's just how it works. Nothing can go in, and then the flood dams open and everything goes in.
It's crazy how hockey works. I mean, even as a player, I've had times where I'm like, I felt like I'm never going to score a goal ever again in my career, and then you have times when it'll be like, everything I throw at the net goes in right now, and it's just one of those things. So you can kind of see it starting to turn for Century.
Played out of the zone by the Demons. A shorthand opportunity if they can whack in the direction of Schwark, and just could not quite get there as Richardson as he was hit to the ground. But like the level of concentration there from Richardson. Awkward bounce right onto the stick of Kaysen Hegret, but he could not fire a shot. Frickman, turn and shoot. He had a piece of that net wide open with all that traffic up front, but just could not quite find the sliver. Saw that open part of the net, and as a player that I only played, way down in a second, third grade, but love to shoot when you see that wide open net like that.
Yeah, well, go to the net front, taking away the eyes of Dieter. A good player will shoot around screens and kind of understand, hey, I know the goalie's leaning a certain direction, and then you're kind of looking for those pockets in the net. If you can kind of pay attention to which direction the goalie's leaning away from to find those openings.
Definitely one of those looks, though. You get your eyes wide open as here comes Frickman firing a shot from the blue line. Dieter kind of awkwardly fell back, but looks like he is okay there. Kind of awkwardly fell as it goes all the way down the length of the ice. And it looks like we got a penalty for Century, and that is going to bring up some 4-on-4 hockey for the next 46 seconds.
I'll be interested to see if we get Easton Richardson back out here, when you have a little bit more space to work with. He's a guy that could be really dangerous in these types of situations. But it looks like he's not going out quite yet.
Or do you keep Richardson and Schwark until 46 seconds?
Yeah, well, then you get him at the power play. That's a good idea. I didn't even think of that. You're right.
Just throwing hypotheticals out there.
You're absolutely right.
Try to eat up the 4-on-4 and then get your playmakers on at 5-on-4.
That's right.
Freeze. Comes in, fires shot, and that one pops the water bottle up in the air. Strikes right away on the 4-on-4.
Good shot from Tanner Freeze. Shoots through the screen, and I don't think Hammer could pick it up.
Well, we were talking all about this strategy. Well, just send someone out there. Tanner Freeze buries it. Yeah, what a shot.
Really nice shot.
Here, I love when you hit the water bottle. This one sends it right to the moon. Tanner Freeze. There, you see it in the air.
Yeah, it looks like it was definitely through the under the stick or through the feet. Almost wonder if it gets deflected as he's kind of releasing his shot and kind of handcuffed the goalie.
And right back, it's a hat trick for Heath Frickman, just seconds after the Demon goal.
Yeah, love to see it. Back and forth action right now. The ups and downs of the game. What a play from Heath Frickman to respond there.
Well, there's the hat trick. We asked it just a couple minutes ago. Will we see a hat trick? Yes, the answer is yes.
The answer is yes. Just a great individual effort from Heath Frickman, though. Just walks the defenseman, finishes. This is the excitement that we wanted up here. We're getting it.
2:20 now remaining. Again, apologize. These goals are coming fast and furious. I forgot to update there, but 4-4 is where it's at. What a hockey game.
Yeah, and I don't think the excitement's done here. I could see Frickman or Richardson pulling off another nice goal here. We see them in some action.
Schulte finding the edge. Chipping it back to Frickman. Can he score goal number 4? No, he's going to center one for Schulte. Coming out of the box now as the Demons. They have an opportunity with Freeze, but the puck just hits behind him. And now power play for the next 1 minute for the Demons. 1:38 on the board. You thought after the Demons goal, with it being 4-on-4 and then being on a power play for much of the remaining time on the clock, they were in the right boat, but Heath Frickman said no.
Yeah, I mean, just crazy game. Probably an unfortunate goal that goes in for BHS, and then to come and respond. Obviously, that can be very deflating, but to come back and respond about 5 seconds later, that's a big-time play. And to me, he's completely turned the game around for Century.
$1:30 here left in regulation. Will that be enough time to decide a winner in a 4-4 hockey game? Richardson. Puck kept in, and now Century will reconvene again. They are shorthanded for the next 35 seconds of 1:10 on the scoreboard. Dieter plays one out. Hard shift for Mansmith as he comes sailing in. Again, those third liners, even if they are on this PK, they're making an impact.
Yeah, and you're just kind of eating that clock.
BHS wanting a trip, they will not get one. As Freeze, he had the go-ahead just seconds ago. Before Century is able to tie it, Freeze again, tried to jam it up front. Scene shot, not gonna go. Feist gets up after getting up. Get knocked off his bearings, and the puck gets sailed over. 35 seconds. Century fans and the student section all in the ear of Easton Richardson.
You love to see the passion. You know what? One thing I miss about playing, I just miss the passion from the fan bases or wherever you're playing. Makes it a great, makes it a lot of fun to play, just to have the intensity in the rink.
You know, we were talking about it off air. You played overseas, and you said there's an entirely different atmosphere overseas than there is in North America.
Oh, it's just, I mean, you got the drum going, kind of like the soccer hooligans type of atmosphere, but I mean, everyone in the stands is doing the same chants, and they're jumping around all game. It just makes it an incredible experience. Some of those rinks, I mean, they seat 6,000 and they'll fit 8,000 in there, and it's just like a crazy atmosphere. So a lot of fun and great experience being able to play in front of those kind of fans.
Well, it's kind of like Mandan last week with Mandan Century. I mean, if the capacity's at 100%, well, that was probably like 130, 140% there last week.
Oh, I think Mandan, I love just being at games in that rink. It's a fun atmosphere. And they got great fans, and obviously the crosstown rivalry just makes it, I think it's a great place to play a high school hockey game.
So now 35 seconds remaining in regulation. This has kind of been a roller coaster, Mario. I feel like the first 2 periods was kind of just the buildup. You get to the tippy top of the roller coaster, and this third period has been just 60 to 100 miles all the way down.
Well, it's just some back and forth action, some unexpected goals, some big plays, a couple big hits. To me, the roller coaster of this game really got ramped up when Heath Frickman came out at the start of this third period, and you could just see a different level of intensity, and he crushed someone in the slot, and it totally changed this period. 35
seconds here in regulation. Kaysen Schwark, he's got 2 goals, race to the puck, but he's boxed out by the Patriots. Here's Heath Frickman. He's got 3 goals. 25 seconds remaining. Frickman shot, whistles wide. Played right back. Guess who? Frickman gets it back, fires a shot. That one into the glass. 13 seconds remaining. Frickman chips it back the other direction. Schulte racing for it. Johnson just going to try to get the Demons into OT, pushing that puck against the board. So is Schwark. And the time will expire here in regulation. The Demons said, hey, we're going to fight for extra play, and that's what they got.
Let's go.
A little free hockey on a Tuesday never hurt anyone there, Mario.
Yeah, and then our dinner can get delayed a little bit longer, but that's all right because we're going to get some good action here in overtime.
Hey, well, who needs actual food when we got kind of the dessert period coming up, overtime, when we return right here on the PSP Network. Bismarck High 4, Century 4. Let's play some extra hockey when we come back.
We want it all. We want our dog to fetch it.
Drop it.
And drop it. We want to fix it ourselves. And actually fix it. We want to order the market price lobster. And know the market price of the lobster.
How much is... Whatever the market says.
Sadly, we can't have it all. Except at Sport Clips, where we check in with the pros in men's hair and totally check out with pure, uninterrupted relaxation. Sport Clips. It's a game changer.
Every football fan has their Sunday routine. Maybe it's setting your lineup, firing up the grill, or claiming your spot on the couch. But the center of every Sunday is the drive. The morning drive home before kickoff. The drive to your buddy's watch party. Wherever you're headed, we can take you there.
We are heading into overtime here tonight. And, hey, why not some extra hockey? I'm Brock Widener, joined alongside me, Mario Lamoureux. And, Mario, we have had quite the night of Minot United. Legacy, that was a fun one, 4-2. But this one, that second, maybe that headlining option tonight is what it kind of turned out to be. Bismarck versus Century. And first two periods, as we mentioned, maybe a bit slow rolling a little bit. It was 2-1 heading into the third, and then firework after firework after firework, haymaker after haymaker, and we've got ourselves a heavyweight bout here headed into overtime.
Yeah, but before the game, we talked about the history of these two programs and the rivalry that they have. I think there was physicality early in the game, but then that third period, it really got ramped up, and you just got to see the excitement. You got to see guys making big plays. And it was, it was an exciting period. We go all the way to overtime, and this will go down as another great game in the Century-Bismarck High rivalry.
Well, this one has been a fun one, to say the least. But now, what are you looking forward to in sudden death overtime?
Well, I think someone's got to go make a big play. So, on the BHS side, I think you got Easton Richardson. He's probably the most dynamic offensive player that they have. Someone like him's got to step up and make a play. Or on the other side, maybe you got Heath Frickman or Keaton Schulte step up and make a big play. Those guys have been, all three of those guys have been really good all night. So I think you expect to see I think you'll see a lot of them here in overtime. It'll be exciting to see who can step up and make a big play.
As we get ready for the overtime frame, 8 minutes on the board. 5-on-5 as Dieter and Hammer will switch the sides of the net. So Dieter will slowly skate across your screen, and we get ready. Demons will be moving right to left. Patriots left to right. Next goal wins. And it's going to be a big one here again. Both teams started their season 0-1 in WDA play. An extra point on the line. So even the loser in this one going to still gain a valuable conference point. Ty Backus leaves it on to Heath Frickman. He's been fun to watch. 3 goals tonight. Sails into the zone. Frickman tries to call game quick, but that one sails wide. Hagerut, he's going to fire one. That one wide. Frickman right back on the case. Sends it down the ice. Schulte trying to race for it. Johnson, though, boxes him out. Pins it on to Case and Schwark. Schwark sails one high. Hand in the air for Hammer, and it's going to go for an icing.
Yeah, I think Frickman probably is his most dangerous when he winds pucks up and can get speed through the neutral zone. If you're BHS, you really got to make him stop, make him turn back, and not allow him to have kind of freewheeling space to go through the neutral zone. You can see he almost buried one there on that last rush.
Hey, he's feeling it tonight. So if he's got an opportunity, he's gonna shoot the puck. That's for sure.
And he should.
Quick shot, that one wide of the net. Stepping into it there is Easton Carvo as he has his legs falling underneath him. Another opportunity backhand there by Sparks. Again, he tied this game up at 3s earlier, has the sophomore in his first varsity goal. Sparks backhands one as he's all sorts of tied up. Bismarck High, a little chip play, trying to work it up to Feist. Feist to Hardy. Hardy. Quite the battle up front there for Hardy to try to make his way there, but now off and racing at Sparks again. Sparks to Reese Frickman, tamed down by Coster, fires a shot. That one deflected up and away. Carvo, low shot, deflects right into Dieter, who makes the save.
Great deflection from Jacob Fisher there to kind of get through the slot. That's a great save by Dieter. That was a more dangerous chance than it looked like.
It's brought to you by Ryan Family Dealerships. Again, they've got you covered with these instant replays, and look at that deflection. But Dieter on it. 6:25, just about a buck and a half down here in OT. Emerson Astle, that one shot wide of the net. Astle lays the body there on Schwark. Loose puck. Schwark chips it back. Hits off the stanchion there as Johnson gets a piece of it, does the captain of the Demons. Stretch play, but it's coming back. It's going to be an icing. .605. At this point here, are you looking up for like a setup play if you win the draw, if you're Century?
Century's historically really good at running good face-off plays. They usually have a game plan going into that, and have kind of been effective at scoring goals from those scenarios in the past.
Backus to Frickman, fires a shot, that one wide, just very similar to the location where he missed that last one. Lays it on to Miller. Missing the zone again. Frickman right on it. Leaves it out to Hagerut. Spins around, try to leave it for Frickman again. Frickman absorbs a blow from Freeze. Hagerut had an opportunity but couldn't pull the trigger. Richardson had a stick in the way and a loose puck coming all the way here. And a lucky fan going to go and grab that one.
Well, I'm just glad they didn't get a hit down there. They weren't paying attention.
Hey, I think everyone's paying attention here. I mean, how can you not keep your eye on the ice here? 5:32 in overtime nonetheless here on a Tuesday night, 4-4. Again, next goal wins. Jacob Fisher on the tie-up. Trying to get there is Sparks. Miller, Clapper, Fisher denied again.
That sophomore line getting more dangerous every shift that they get out there. That's, again, another grade A look.
And that's, again, from that confidence. They've already scored a goal, and that just adds to it.
Yeah, the second good look from Fisher here in overtime.
You have the face-off win for the Demons, but it's the Patriots that have flipped the ice. Hardy tries to get down out of the zone. Scoop backed up by Custer, but he loses the puck in the process. Skating without the puck and allows now Steen and company to get over there. Skeen and Feist. It looks like a high stick. We're moving the puck down into the Bismarck High offensive zone.
I wonder if you'll see the Schulte-Frickman line pretty much every other shift here for the rest of overtime.
They've developed the chances all night long. They've had 3 of the 4 goals for Bismarck Century. And on the other side is that top line of Richardson, Freeze, and Schwark for Bismarck High. Schwark fires a shot, that one. I think that might have hit the post. Another shot, that one steers wide. Trying to jam it forward. Schwark shoots it, saved by Hammer.
Couple really good looks from Casey Schwark, and he can really snap that puck in there. So a couple good saves from Hammer.
Lots of replays coming your way in overtime. There's one great save there by Hammer. Stays with it, and Schwark denied. You can see he got the frustration there. He wanted that one to go in, but arguably that was probably his second best opportunity in the last 15 seconds. The other one, not sure if it hit the post or just an inch above it. Miller backhands it across to Mansmith. Richardson, pocket picks him and misses on the shot, but he gets right back, tries to center a pass to Schwark. Fans on a couple attempts on the pass. Puck high in the air. Batted down by Mansmith. Tamed down by Freeze. He's got a goal tonight. Johnson seals the edge. Sends it right back behind the crease of Hammer. Miller and Freeze doing a little bit more headbutting than going after the puck there. As Dieter comes out of the crease, has that puck whacked. Put it on the side of the net, and Dieter gets to it.
What a sequence that was. That made me excited.
Livesey had an opportunity. I need to see this one.
Well, he kind of looks like, I think he picked it out of the air.
Here comes Dieter. Doesn't get all of it. Livesey blocks it in the air, and whoa, what a play. Side of the net. But you got to tip your cap to the effort there for Kyle Livesey, a senior.
Yeah, knocks that puck out of the air and just keeps that puck alive. So great play by him.
And Dieter had to go into scramble drill and got some luck there on the side of the net, bailing him out. Halfway through overtime, it's been exciting. Still tied up 4-4. Sudden death, next goal wins. To get the extra point, both teams can at least walk away with 1 point in the conference standings. But the winner will get an extra bonus point to add on top of it. Frickman to the backhand. Loses his edge. Hand in the air. Patriots going on the man advantage. Dieter can't believe it.
Yeah, that's it is a trip. Do you like to see it in overtime? Maybe not, but ultimately it was a trip, and they called it, so this is a big opportunity for the Century Patriots, and it looks like they are calling a timeout, I think.
I think they pointed towards Bismarck, but I could be wrong on that. But either way, it will be a timeout. And Dieter and Hammer are going to give each other a little nod there. Game recognizes game. Those two have made some spectacular saves tonight.
Yeah, no, it's nice to see the sportsmanship out of those two. Obviously, these kids grow up together, play, with or against each other for, all their younger years. So cool to see them go out here and compete in front of all these fans, and they've both done a great job tonight.
Well, let's take a break here with them. A short break. We'll be back in 30 seconds for more overtime action. Next goal wins between the Demons and the Patriots.
Dakota Community Bank and Trust, your trusted partner for commercial and business loans. We not only provide lending you need to grow your business, but we also reinvest in our communities. We believe in strengthening our businesses and creating opportunities for success. Choose Dakota Community Bank and Trust for your commercial and business loans, and together let's keep our communities thriving.
Serving the community, looking out for you. At Dakota Community Bank and Trust, that's what we do.
Well, there's Noah Hammer there in the bench. A nice shot of him. He has been solid in his second start on the season. His sixth start in his varsity career for the junior, and two junior netminders that have put on quite the display here tonight. As shots in favor, though, of Century, 38-20. Kaysen Hagrid will go up against Richardson. Give it to Hagrid. Frickman tries to feed it to Miller. Quickly getting in on the passes is Johnson. He sends it down the ice. And again, this is a power play for the next 145 with a 3:22 in OT.
Now this is where Frickman's dangerous. You let him wind it up and get all that speed.
Frickman racing. Tried the wraparound. Will hold on to it. Lays it off to Backus. Backus examines. Fires a shot. Glove save by Dieter. Look at the patience there at Ty Backus, though. He had that. He could have ripped one right away, but waits for a little bit more movement up front to rip one.
Yep, and I think if you get those net front guys kind of screening Dieter, that becomes more of a dangerous chance.
Frickman wins the race, hits the brakes, looks for the wraparound, leaves it on for his teammate. Battle behind the net. Goes all the way down to Backus. Backus fights off Richardson. Backus has some room, fires a shot. Dieter gets a piece. Hagrid tried to slam that one on a slap shot. That one up and over the net. Schulte leaves it off to Frickman. Back to Schulte. He's fun to watch. He leaves it on the Miller. Schulte on the far circle, trying to feed a pass up front to Frickman. Denied and back on Schulte's twig. Backus, plenty of room. He comes narrowing in. His shot is blocked. 44 seconds on the man advantage here in OT. Schulte, shot, blocked, stays with it, centers a pass. Richardson sending it down the length of the ice. And there's the long change. They got to go all the way down the ice.
That's a big clear from the BHS group.
2 minutes remaining here in OT. Against sudden death, 15 seconds remaining on the power play for the Patriots. Reese Frickman, the freshman, has it now with 10 seconds. Last charge here before we go even strength the rest of the way. Or will we go the rest of the way as Frickman goes down? Century wanting a call, will not get one. Schulte, even strength. Schulte, turn and shoot, not there. Carvo steps into it. Carvo going back to attack, but now the Demons come away with the puck. After playing on their heels and playing defense, they want to turn it into offense. Steen lays it in. Here comes a shot for the Demons. Lots of traffic. That one not going to make to the crease off of Johnson. Steen battling back for it. Freeze already has a goal. Wants another and trying to put this game to rest. Looks like the Demons lost where that puck was, and an opportunity for Century to go the other direction. But good work there by Freeze to get it away and send it back down. 50 seconds remaining in OT. Schulte's got the edge. Pushed into the boards by Freeze, slows them up, and Schulte will come off the ice. That might have been his last shift in regulation. Or in OT, excuse me. Reese Frickman dances around not one, but two Demons. Plays one, hits the side of the net. 30 seconds to go in OT. Nick Koster waiting for Astle. The third line back on for the Patriots. Miller gets popped by Steen. If he can get it to Richardson, he would be open, but could not get his stick cleared for Bo Miller. Bodies hitting the ice every which direction. 10 seconds remaining. Richardson gonna have one more attempt and could not get a clean shot to go. And that will be it for OT.
That was exciting.
Exciting is certainly a word that can be used to describe that. Miller slow to get up as he's going to get a little bit of a help there by his teammate across the ice. But what an overtime period.
Just a ton of looks. Century gets the power play, a lot of looks. Then we had some back and forth action. You got the coaches fired up on both benches. A lot of intensity in the building. This is overall just really a great game between two in-town rivals.
Especially at the end. I think both teams knew it wasn't going to be settled in overtime, so hey, might as well, I guess, in their minds, take some whacks at each other down the stretch on the physicality side, ramping up as Easton Richardson just went down the tunnel and got a new stick. I do believe I just saw. That's what my eyes saw. So if Richardson scores with a new stick in a shootout, could be a big storyline.
It could be. I mean, he might have gotten a new stick because I'm assuming that he's going to shoot, but you want kind of a fresh tape job. You got this bad ice, so sometimes that can help you kind of get your release off a little bit better.
See, I did not know that. But that's why we got you up here, Mario.
Yeah, I would retape my stick after every period.
Oh, really?
Yes. I got sick of taping sticks by the end of my career.
Well, we got a shootout coming up. What better way to end a Tuesday night? I can't think of one.
Oh, this will be good. I think obviously you'll see the obvious ones of, I think like Schwark and Richardson will shoot for BHS. You probably have Schulte, Frickman. I bet you'll see Sparks in there. Those are all my guesses.
Oh, you could see Sparks too.
I could see Sparks getting a look here.
Yeah, for Bismarck High, you're thinking for sure. You're thinking Richardson. I mean, we saw him grab the new stick. Schwark for sure. You maybe see Freeze, who ripped a nice shot as well in the mix.
Elias Johnson, undercover captain for the group. He's someone that maybe they would throw out there. We'll see though.
And it will be Kaysen Schwark. 3 goals last year. Has a goal tonight. His first on the season. And his number is called for the first shooter of the shootout for Bismarck High. Schwark scoops it up. Slowly going, picking up speed, goes to the slot. Schwark, 5-hole backhand, no! Hammer got a piece of it.
A nice move, almost went tweener on Hammer there, but he's able to keep that puck out. I think it did go through, but I think it went behind him.
I think he just gets a piece of it, and as he kind of changes his motion here, see if we can get this in before it. Yeah, it was in between the legs and kind of directed out. And Easton Eggert, maybe you didn't have that one on your bingo card, will shoot first.
I like the shot. I think he's going to go low blocker here. That's my prediction of the night.
The sophomore looking for his first goal. Races in, buys time, backhand, denied by Dieter.
My prediction was way off.
There you see, just slowly comes in. Does the sophomore, trying to out-patience the goaltender, but Dieter doesn't bite, and here comes Easton Richardson. We knew he was bound to shoot. He's going to be the second shooter for the Demons. Leading returning goal scorer for the Demons. Works on the far side, looks for a shot and rifles one home. It's Richardson putting the Demons up 1-0 in the shootout.
Really nice shot, comes down the left side. From what I could see, shoots it right under the glove, kind of as Hammer's starting to shuffle across.
We're going to actually take a look at that one a little bit later as Heath Frickman coming in. And Frickman, he's got a hat trick already tonight. Frickman races in, buys time, denied by Dieter. Dieter showed him the leg. And that right there might have been probably the biggest play of the day this far.
Yeah, what a save. Big time save. Frickman does get him to bite, but then Dieter, really good push off to get back to that net.
And now it's Ian Feist. If he makes it, it is game for the Demons. Feist, swing and a miss, whiffs on the puck, doesn't get all of it, and the Patriots have an opportunity to extend the shootout, but they need to score here, and you knew it had to be Keaton Schulte.
Oh, you knew he was going to be coming out here, so can he step up and make a big play and keep this shootout alive?
He had 3 goals. He had a hat trick last year against Bismarck High. Can he get the game to extend in this one in the shootout? Trying to buy time against Dieter, but Dieter patient and wins it for Bismarck High in the shootout. Last year, it was Century that swept the Demons by scores of 7-1 and a 4-3 winner in a shootout nonetheless. And Bismarck High gets that shootout loss from last year and turns it into a shootout win this year. 5-4, a gritty performance for the Demons. But what a spectacular hockey game here inside the WDA on a Tuesday night.
No, it was a great game, and honestly, I think that's a huge win for BHS's program. They've been down the last couple of years, but that one's going to feel good for them to feel like, hey, we got some mojo back. That was a great win for them.
Let's take a break and head on over the Charbonneau Car Center post-game show, and when we return, we will wrap things up here from the VFW Sports Center.
This presentation on the BSP Network is proudly brought to you by
Facing disaster, it's not just the things we lose, but the memories. But there's hope. ServPro, with decades of experience in Minot and Bismarck, is always ready. Our certified professionals don't just restore homes, they rebuild lives. Because to us, you're not just a client, you're family.
Our stylists are trained to understand the nuances of cutting men's hair. Less pomp, more adore, huh, Brittany?
Square face, wavy hair.
Mid-fade with a textured top. Finish it off with a hard part and taper that neckline, coach.
Cowlick, what's the move? It's not just all about hard work here.
Hit all. 7. Pressure. Points. Yeah.
It takes expertise to be a sport clip stylist.
Here?
That's the spot. Right there, huh?
Sport Clips, the pros in men's hair.
Whether you're looking for a full-service financial plan or planning for farm or business succession, Planning Team Financial Advisors is here to help you work toward achieving your financial goals. With locations in Bismarck, Garrison, and Center, our full-service team of professionals are dedicated to helping you work towards achieving your financial goals. Visit us online, planningteam.com.
Securities offered through LPL Financial, member of FINRA Civic. Investment advisory services offered through New Edge Advisors, LLC, a registered investment advisor. New Edge Advisors, LLC, and Planning Team Financial Advisors are separate entities from LPL Financial.
Planning for the future is difficult, but pre-planning your funeral is a thoughtful way to ease the burden on your loved ones. At Stevenson Funeral Home, our compassionate team will help you create a personalized plan that reflects your values. We'll make sure that your wishes are honored and that your family will have peace of mind in a challenging time. Call us today to start your pre-planning journey. You can count on us to be with you every step of the way. Stevenson Funeral Home.
Welcome back in and welcome in to the post-game show brought to you by Charbonneau Car Center. Again, make sure you stop in for a test drive at Charbonneau Car Center in Dickinson. Visit both of their 2 locations inside the Queen City. I'm Brock Widener, joined alongside me Mario Lamoureux. Mario, what an exciting game. And we've got a lot of highlights, especially in overtime, that we do want to show. So we might as well just get that up and going as we talk about this. But let's rewind it back to the first period. And it was Bismarck High was opportunistic, got 2 goals on their 2 big chances of the first period, both by Case and Schwark, both assisted by Easton Richardson and Tanner Freeze, and that got them up early 2-0. But you started to see Century started to kind of get that momentum. In the second period, they got a goal to make it 2-1 by Heath Frickman, assisted by Keaton Schulte, but it was quickly brought back into a 2-goal game by Tanner Freeze, assisted by Easton Richardson. At that point, you didn't really know exactly how it was going to go. It was when it went to 2-1, you thought, oh, it's Century's right here. Century's going to have, right back and has that momentum on their side. And then the Demons kind of put the fire out right before the second intermission to go up 3-1. But what a start to the third period by Bismarck Century. They go on the power play, and everything was clicking in that third frame.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at the overall game, I mean, Century, controlled a good chunk of that game. But I give BHS credit. They were opportunistic on some of the chances that they had. They got a couple fortunate bounces. And I think most importantly, they had a goalie that really kept them in the game. And I'll say they kept a lot of shots to the outside. So, Century outshot them 41-21. But I will say that they blocked a lot of shots. They kept a lot of those shots from the perimeter and allowed Dieter to see a lot of those shots. But, he played extremely well, made some big saves. And they were able to kind of fight their way to get to overtime. If you're Century, I think there's a lot that you like about your game. You kind of got going, finally got on the scoreboard. Obviously, you want a different result there in the shootout, but I think both teams, there's a lot of positive things you can build on going into your next matchups.
Yeah, into that third period, it was Heath Frickman right away in the opening 2 minutes on the power play goal, his second on the night, assisted by Kaysen Hagerot. And then it was a sophomore in Oliver Sparks scoring his first varsity goal to even things up or to take the lead, or was it they tied up? And then Tanner Freeze scored a goal, about 2:27 remaining. That was the go-ahead. and 5 seconds later, it was Heath Frickman again. So this back and forth, you had Sparks with 6:11 to tie the game. Just about a minute or two and a half, 3 minutes later, Tanner Freeze gets the go-ahead, and 5 seconds later, it was all tied up again by Frickman.
Yeah, I mean, to me, the difference maker really in the game, for Century was Heath Frickman. I think, you got like Schulte, really consistent, really solid, steady player. To me, the real difference maker on the team can be Heath Frickman if he, shows up and shows that intensity that we saw in the third period. If he plays like that all season, he's going to be dangerous. He's going to be one of the top players in the state. And he's really hard to stop. He's long and rangy, good at moving laterally. So he does a lot of positive things, but he's got to have that intensity every time he comes out because, Century will be a tough team to beat if he shows up and plays like that because I think he'll get other guys on board as well.
Then it went to overtime, and I am not sure how this one was not ended in overtime, Mario. Chance after chance after chance. It was Century in that first half of overtime and maybe, more of maybe 5 to 6 of the 8 minutes. But Dieter stood on his head, kept Bismarck in alive. Demons had some opportunities, forced a shootout, and there was a big save there by Hammer, the shootout. Case and Schwark beat him 5-hole, but somehow gets a piece of it to stay. And quite the shootout it was. You always wanted to, as a fan, if you're in attendance or you buy a ticket, you wanted to go to a shootout or overtime, and we got a spectacular one here. But here is what would go down as the game winner, Easton Richardson. 3 assists and the shootout winner, beating Noah Hammer on that one to go up 1-0, and that would again eventually win it. But speaking of Easton Richardson, he is going to be tonight's Sports Clips MVP. Easton Richardson, 3 assists and the shootout winner. What'd you like of his game tonight?
He's opportunistic. He's, I think, one of the better players that we're going to see in the region at attacking guys one-on-one. He can expose guys that are flat-footed, but he also smart making plays like those 2 goals for Schwark tonight. Really good plays from him. And he also, the other thing I really like is everyone's going to notice your nice, fancy highlight reel plays. He also worked hard, created turnovers for other scoring chances. So it's not just the pretty stuff that he's doing. He's also working for other chances. And I'll just say kind of working for kind of those gritty scoring chances. And that kind of ended up being there. What I believe was their 3rd goal of the game tonight off good forechecking from him. So he's doing a little bit of everything. You're seeing some of the dynamic offense, but also seeing some of those little things as well.
Well, that's going to about do it for us here tonight. But before we sign off, we'll take a look at the road ahead. For Bismarck High, they get a day off, and then they'll be headed on over to the North Stars at Hazen Beulah on the road. They'll be back on home on December 9th against the Williston Coyotes. For the Century Patriots, they'll be back in action on Friday at home against Fargo Davies, and then they'll got Legacy on the 11th. Big thanks out to all of our great sponsors that have made this game possible. Big thanks out to the camera crew, Johnny Haugen and Aaron Wald. Mario, thanks for joining me here in the booth. It was quite the time here in the 2 games tonight. Again, Minot United defeats Legacy in the first part, 4-2, and then Bismarck High defeats Century 5-4 in a shootout nonetheless. Well, have yourself a great rest of your Tuesday night, and we will see you later on this week for some more hockey action. Again, we got to believe it was Minot versus Jamestown on Thursday and Dickinson taking on Williston on Friday night. So make sure you tune into those matchups as a great start to the WDA season. More games coming your way on the PSP Network. Have a great night.
This presentation on the PSP Network is proudly brought to you by social media platforms.